The Proto-Semitic Allah, Bernadine tells us, was a black dog represented by a black bull whose hide denoted his black skin.
Here's the picture that he showed on the screen. It's a deity El, the god El. Pay attention to the crown or the headdress, if you will. This is a picture from the front of the same statue, a little closer, and a little bit from the side here. Now, this headdress is actually the Atef crown. If you go on Webster's online dictionary, that's what it says. Atef is the specific feathered white crown of the Egyptian deity Osiris. It combines the head jet, the crown of Upper Egypt, with red ostrich feather for the Osiris cult. The Atef crown identifies Osiris in ancient Egyptian painting. If you go to Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster, it says Atef, hold on, a tall crown with a long feather on each side, shown in the art of ancient Upper Egypt as worn by Osiris. Okay? Here you can see Osar or Osiris with the Atef crown. This is from the papyrus of Nebket. It's actually in the Louvre Museum, and you can see me filming that papyrus on the video entitled Reality Check. Why black people ain't going nowhere. But you might as well put Afro Style Reality Check. It's going to come up. And in here, it's also from the Louvre Museum. You have Osiris in the middle with the Atef crown, and the description for it, if you go on the website of the Louvre Museum and you type Royal and Divine Triad, you can do a search and you will see they mention that he is actually wearing the Atef crown. Now finally, you can compare the crowns. Okay, first you have the god of the Arabs Negroes, which first is El, but somehow, some way becomes Allah. But that's up to y'all. That's up to the doctor. And then you have the one that I showed you, Osiris. Then again, from the front, compared with another statue of Osiris, and then finally the same statue from another angle.
Biblical King's Seal discovered in dump site. This is the royal seal of the King Hezekiah, and here we have an Ankh. And finally, last but not least, you need to see it to believe it. The God of the Bible, El, slept in his own dung and urine. This is Ugaritic Narrative Poetry, page 195. And we also have this book here, the Masriya in the Prophetic Literature, where it clearly says that El floundered in his own feces and urine.
The very Malcolm X conversation and controversy.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Sound is not great. Let me try with the headset. Okay, so I'm going to try with the headset. I was muted, that's why. Okay, microphone check 1 2. Doesn't sound much better, but see how it goes. Hotep Senuhena Senuti and then Isha Kanibu Kemet. I hope you're doing well. The title of this live stream is Get on the Panel. I have shared the link already. We have Neo X who became a new member. Thank you and welcome. Now, I was just listening actually to a channel that I told you about, the title Malcolm X's Revenge. Hold on. Let me share the link so you have it. I uploaded a new video an hour ago entitled Has Farrakhan Silenced Western Muhammad over Malcolm X? So it already has 112 views, even though it was uploaded only an hour ago. I will share the link to you all so you can see it. I even forgot that indeed a book was supposed to be released real soon about Malcolm X's assassination. But if the dude wasn't silenced, then he probably waits for Zach Condo's new book to be out. Wow, or who knows? You know, but what could be the reason? Now, yesterday, because the internet connection wasn't well on my side, and I ended the live stream. Now, feel free to take advantage. However, I ain't gonna be freestyling for too long. So if you guys want to talk about what you heard yesterday, and feel free. Somebody in the comment um, didn't know, and I don't fault the person for that. Didn't know that, but you heard from Gothic was actually 4 years old. So 4 years ago, he was, allegedly for the babies and the woman, but that was him then. Now he doesn't care about that. The same guy that he criticized, that he labeled a rapist, he's cool with him now. Just 2 months ago, less than 3 months ago, he said when he got on
House of Freight's platform to complain about his non-existent degree being mentioned, he said that the dude called him. Yo, give me 1 second. So people change. You have to wonder why, but we will never know everything. And like I've stated, for those who don't know, it's a live stream that he actually made private. So they are listening closely. They are listening with attention. And I'm thinking that they are wondering how we're going to get away from this. We've been running our mouth calling people Egyptomaniacs, but here we are, busted, supporting child molesters, convicted child molesters. Is not a good look at all. How to get out of this? They have collectively tried some talking points with the help of their only fan moderators, several bootleggers and whatnot, but it just doesn't work. And those talking points were Grace U. Storm. Those talking points were, oh, it's gossiping, it's old news, it's slander. No slander. We have the facts, we have the receipts. So here's the opportunity, brothers and sisters. I have no plan to share anything in particular. This is an open mic for everybody. Seize the opportunity. I know I did not inform beforehand that I will be live streaming. It's only been 12 minutes so far. But I've only 11 people right now, but it's all good. Um, Actually, maybe some of you noticed. First, I did put the live stream scheduled for basically this time now. But actually, yeah, it was supposed to start like, about now. Then I changed my mind. I said, okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then I realized, okay, let me just do it today. So some of you may have noticed that, others may have not. But anyway, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Hey, Christopher Davis in the place, PPC. I hope you're doing well, brother. So indeed, you know where I am now because I've uploaded a video. I am in Portugal. Here, here's our brother Chris. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, peace, Shocker, peace, Shocker.
Favorite speak, brother.
Hey, hey, I just got off work and it's hot, so I'm sweating, yo. Yo, forgive me, y'all.
It's all good,
And I'm
brother.
sitting in the car. All right.
Yeah, I got another museum on my list now. They have some nice stuff. The museum in Lisbon, what they call it Lisboa, the capital of Portugal, is quite small, but because they have an exhibit, they have several artifacts from different places. They have a few from the Louvre Museum which are not on display. They have a few from Ashmolean Museum, London, England. Which other place they have? Oh, Marseille, south of France. I've never been to that one as well. They will have some from Belgium, but I've been to Belgium. They have two with Egyptian artifacts over there. They have the National Museum, which is in Brussels, and they have another one which is like another town, probably I think maybe 2 hours away from Brussels. Um, I made the trip driving then, but that was a while back, so I don't know exactly. But I've been to both those museums as well. So I got some nice things coming up.
Hey, what I'm gonna do, Shocker? There's two museums at least close to me. One's in Richmond, Virginia, and in Washington D.C. I got pictures and images of like mad stuff from Kemet. I'm gonna email it to you.
All right, appreciate that. I actually have a list of um, most museums in the world with significant ancient Egyptian artifacts. So whenever I get a chance, I go there. So in America, really, I was thinking about doing some sort of world trip, but that'll be later on when I won't have to do the 9 to 5 anymore. But I wouldn't really like to just take the plane and go to a few cities in America and then come back to Europe and then then again take the plane to a few cities. I'd rather, like have a few months and then, travel in all those places in America, but there's so many museums. You know, actually, yeah, in many different countries in the world, but there's a fair bit in Europe, so I'm doing Europe now because it's closer to me. But you know, there's indeed, America, Canada, and a few countries in Asia as well, and of course the brand new museum, which will open soon in Egypt. So yeah, whenever I can, and I just
Let me
try.
ask you, Shaka, from from where you are in France, because like I said, I have family in France too. But from where you are in France, how long does it take to get to the British Museum?
Well, to go to the British Museum, uh, I guess the easiest way is to take the what we call the Eurostar. Is that train that goes from the middle of Paris to the middle of London, um, and I took it a long time ago. Is it 2 or 3 hours? I think it takes 3 hours, but in London they have 1 hour less than France. So basically, if I leave France and I go to London, I would arrive. It would take me 3 hours, but I would arrive at 2 p.m. If I leave France like at 12 o'clock lunchtime, or let's say if I
Yeah,
leave France at 1 p.m., it takes 3 hours, but I will arrive at 3 p.m. rather than 4 p.m. Yeah. So that's the easiest way. The plane, I think it takes 45 minutes, but it's too much hassle, like you say in
oh,
England.
heck yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Because like where I'm from, one time I should have just drove, but or got on a train, but I flew to New York. It was just an hour away because it's a 4 hour drive for me. And yeah, I should have just took the drive. So I know what you mean by the hassle with the airport.
yeah, you gotta get early. You gotta go through all the check-in stuff like that. So the sad thing is that they had a Brexit. So before, we could just go to England anytime we want. We could even go and live there. But now with the Brexit, we need a visa, even for visiting. So there's a fair bit of museums also in England that I'm planning on going to. What's funny is that I've been to the British Museum twice at least, but I think I've been 3 times. And for strange reason, I never really got much time to do like I did in all the other museums. So I filmed a few artifacts, but not really as much as I wish I could. Um,
Are
the
you
actual
still
main museum. Mhm. Feel free,
I'm
brother.
sorry, brother. Are you still because I'm very interested. Like I love what you do. Like I told you, I'll support you 100% on everything. Um, are you still taking people on museum trips? But I know you got children too, so it's hard. You know.
That I thought that I used to do it because in France we had the good old times. Every first Sunday of the month, it was free in the Louvre Museum. So I used to invite people that time. And sometimes I'll have more people, sometimes I will have less. But one day there was nobody because I used to, text people, look, there's going to be a visit. Even the people who couldn't make it, I would still email them and say, okay, just make sure you have some comfortable shoes and sneakers. It's going to take like, at least 2 hours. You're going to see things you never seen before. It's completely free of charge. You invite your friends, your family. I would invite family members, colleagues, people that I met, like among these um, I don't like the term Pan African, but those Pan African circles. And I've been among many people, and I was part of a black organization like years back. So I know a fair bit of people. And one day nobody turned up, and that's when I stopped. That's when I started. So I was like, okay,
Oh, I
so
don't
yeah,
blame you. I would have done the same.
yeah,
Because I saw you like the intro thing that you used to do when you had your afro. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was um that that visit there when I'm wearing the suit, I think it was 2012. I think it was 2012.
Oh, okay. That's honestly when I started to get into like Egyptology, like around 2012.
Come again, brother?
Oh, that's exactly the time that I got into chematology,
Oh,
Egyptology, 2012, around that time.
2012. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I got into it a bit earlier. I mean, a lot of people know I started my website in 2004. And 2004 I also joined an organization, and then got to meet many people.
Let me ask you this: a lot of people from the like they know you, and remember the internet is not the well, social media slash internet is not the same then as it is now. So how were you able to communicate with people? Because a lot of people know you, like you're verified. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 This. Yes. It's just, yeah, indeed. There's a lot of new people now. A lot of new people, and so some have done some studies by themselves, like the brother Jason Edwards. He's 23. I don't know if he turned 24 already. Studied meditation by himself, and he has some level already. But others, unfortunately, they've been listening to some other people told them, and because other people happen to be quote unquote elders, and they presume that it makes sense. Like Reggie has knowledge, but dang, he's pseudo every now and then. It's like he can't help it. I mean, in the past he said
Oh,
that.
on that topic, and I'm sorry, brother. Uh,
Listen,
so when I was like originally got into like MetaNetter, and I told you like little Reggie's presentation was garbage. You know what I mean? But at the time I didn't know it. So then like I went. I think he had like one article, and I don't know if he was talking on the Ogduad or the Ennead or whatever, but he was mixing things that the text don't say. You know what I mean? So like, oh man, like that kind of set me back for a couple years. You know what I mean? But then like at some point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get the actual text myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the work myself. Instead of just believing what the alleged conscious community believes in. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the best thing to do. Hold on, just 1 second. We have indeed a lot of people who actually make stuff up indeed and try to pretend like, I mean, sometimes even in English, or in French, like we have seen, they cannot even translate properly. So with the meta sometimes people, will come their spin, and the repairing they've been very um active, with their own personal interpretation and personal hypothesis. But thanks to Smash Rockwell, who took a lot of time refuting their sources. We don't hear about them anymore. And Reggie, sometimes he wants to be sort of pioneer and original. So he will say something like Heru is great and Ma'at is a bird. And that's not necessary. And sometimes I don't know if people realize, like, this is actually damaging your credibility, when you make statements like that. And I mean, I've made mistakes before, and if you say, okay, I was wrong, but I made a mistake, and you keep it pushing. But when people like the guy said, my bad is bird, and instead of just say, okay, my bad, he's still trying to defend it. And I'm like, man, come on, man, my bad is a bird for real. But that is worse. There's worse.
Like,
But
nah, these
go.
dudes are crazy because like I say, like these people think that the populace is stupid. We live in an age of information, and you know that, Shaka. You know what I mean? So some of these things are easy to verify, and they're just playing mind games with people. And it's like, uh, I don't know, man. Like we just got to get rid of these people. We just got to get rid of these people, bro. And we're doing it. We're doing it because I know they're scared and running. You know, but I remember one time, like I even heard from the conscious community, someone's like, "Oh, Dr. Ben couldn't read Metanetra." You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Like how? Oh, why would you do this to the elders? You know what I mean? Or just like when Asar Seikotep, what he was trying to do in Sheikh Antidio. And I was actually at a bookstore yesterday, and I found a book by Diop, but I already had it, but I wanted to buy it again so bad. But I'm like, look, somebody else deserves that. So
Aside him fake, I mean, what he did was just so horrible and so disrespectful to us, our scholars, you know. And but he could only do that for so long because he had groupies, straight up grown men groupies who used to cop for him, you know. But regarding Dr. Ben, for those who don't know, here you can see him reading the lecture. You know, I've shared it because people have said a lot of things about Dr. Ben, but he is on tape reading from the lecture in Kemet. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh yeah.
of course, there's
Um,
a yes. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Feel free.
so even pseudo Wujawu, him and his fresh meta netra group that I created, that I started. Um, I don't know why I saw it, but it popped up on YouTube yesterday. Them talking about like J Sesh and how they're gonna teach it. Dude, anybody can download that online. It's self-explanatory. You know what I mean? Like these guys aren't. They're really not providing anything new and accurate. They're just taking other people's information and trying to flip it and make it seem like they're intelligent. And they're playing with the intelligence of the audience and the people. You know, like that's like when I share books to people, it's not for me to be arrogant. It's like I just don't listen to anybody. Do the research yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you want to learn Metanetrics, go to Shaka. Or even like you say, Jonathan Owens, you know, Smash Rockwell, you know, legit dude. I know it, but I don't want to be a teacher on that aspect. You know what I mean? Because I have sorry to explain, like I consider myself an amateur Egyptologist, but I still need to sharpen my skills. So
I'm sorry. Can you hear me, Chris?
yeah, I can hear you, Shaka.
All right. And you know, Chris, if you're interested, um, the studying that I'm doing is online. You know, and it is from the University of Manchester. Now it comes with a price, indeed, but
So I'll pay for it. That's not a problem.
yeah. So you know what? Well, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send the details to you on the email so you can see what it is. But you're familiar with Osam Ka, right?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Yeah, and he
But
has a
but still email me. But still email me.
yeah, of course, yes. So Osam Ka, he has shown a certificate that he got. You know, so he has done that program. You know, and that is the author that you showed last time. You know, George Tinsley, the one who wrote
Oh yeah.
Pharaoh. Yes. She's running that
Yeah, like I
program. You
say,
know.
I want to sharpen up my skills, and like I say, like whenever the stars decide that I passed away, like I'm giving everything away to my son. But hopefully, in his teenage years, I'll be able to teach him Edunetri.
Hmm.
Oh, when will you be back home, Shaka? Are you gonna be out for a while or what?
Oh, I'm here for about a week.
Okay,
So
okay.
in less than a week, I'll be back home. I don't like to say, you know, exactly. So, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it's,
No, don't put
yeah,
no, don't put your business out there. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So here, I'm sending the email to you so you can see. So yeah,
And thank you, Shaka. I appreciate that.
no problem. So Egypt, so Egypt.
And I'm sorry, anybody that looking at me. I know I look all wet. Like I said, I'm sweating. It's hot out here today.
I've sent the link to you. They first have that certificate, which takes 3 years. Oh, we have Nikki Willie that joined us. Then they have a diploma that takes another 2 years. Then they have a master's that takes another 2 years, and all of these can be okay. I had some internet issue. So yeah, all of this can be done online, and then whoever wants to go for a PhD, then it's not online. The PhD, you gotta be present. But it's good
Yeah,
for people to be able to have the certificate, which takes 3 years, is really an equivalent of a bachelor's degree because it's 120 points. So I
that's
see how
dope.
far I get with that, and I would like to go for the masters, but I don't know how far I will go. To be honest, I mean, when I see the support, uh, which is not very, I mean, financial support, like donation, and also the
Yeah,
interest. Like, unfortunately, when now I'm kind of happy now because when I upload videos from museums, the average is like 100 views, when before it was like 20 to 40 views. That's why I stopped for a
yeah.
year or two uploading videos from museums, but I resumed recently. But even when I try to do some live stream going through the glyphs, there were not that many people. But I see how far it goes. I see,
Oh,
because
someone showed me something.
yeah. Mhm. Feel
No, I'm
free.
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Doc. I'm so sorry. I'm so
No, no,
sorry.
it's okay. It's
I'm
okay. Don't
sorry.
worry.
Yeah. So we have like everybody knows about the metaverse. One of my friends on Facebook, he was like, "Bro, you be in."
Hmm. I don't hear you no more, brother. Chris, Chris, can you hear me? I don't hear anymore. Can you hear Chris or can you hear me in the chat? Let me know because maybe it's me. Yeah, it looks like it's on your end, Chris. You see, you've been at road. Okay, feel free to come back. In the meantime, V. Bennett wrote, did any of you see Seti's vid on his views in the matter not being able to be spoken and it being inaccurate? I didn't. And I remember there was supposed to have the debate to talk about this. But before the debate, I briefly watched, not in its entirety, but a video of young Pharaoh explaining why he believes it hasn't been deciphered. And it really sounded like Walter Williams. And I've been dealing with these questions like from the Blog Talk Radio, like over 10 years ago, so I'm familiar with most of the talking points. So I've always said that I disagree with that stance, that the meta has not been deciphered. Besides, said he has changed his stance because I've said it many times, but that debate between him and Nasi Yashufel, that's the debate for which Reggie committed treason, in the words of Frankie. Um, the sad thing is that, just like Frankie said that, okay, now that he's a pedophile, don't you have any regrets? The guy doesn't even have any regrets, man. But anyway, there was a question and answers, and he was asked, can you read the Meta Nature, or do you know the Meta Nature? One of the two. And said he replied, I know bits and pieces of it. So somewhere down the line, he changed his stance, and everybody had the right to change their stance. You're back on, brother Chris Hilford.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Did you guys hear my personal conversation that I just had on the phone? Because people keep blowing my phone up.
No, we didn't hear it. That's probably why the sound went off. As you were
Okay.
talking,
Thank
all
you.
of a
Thank you. Thank
sudden,
you. Yeah.
yeah, we couldn't hear you
I
anymore.
told.
So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Because I told someone that I'm gonna be live with Chaka. So yeah. So I apologize. Like anybody, please do not call my phone right now. Okay. Thank you.
but you know what you can do? I know I found out very late, but with Android, if scroll down to have the menu, you have do not disturb, you know,
Oh.
and
Okay. 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 Yeah. Because I know. I see settings.
okay, that was my end. I had some connection stuff. Can you hear me, Chris?
No. 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 I can hear you clear, Shaka.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, you have the do not disturb option now. If it's like iOS. I don't really know if they have that option, but
No,
but yeah, feel
I'll find and figure it out. But yeah, yeah, but we're cool. Like nobody should call me like right now for a minute.
yeah, but yeah,
But I
no,
may have
brothers.
asked you this before, Sean. I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I may have asked you this before, but because like you, I came from a Christian background, like growing up as a
Hmm.
child. Um, what influenced you to get into chematology?
Oh well, I was asked a question a few times, but I would say mainly is my appreciation or love, for lack of a better word, for history. And I was reading, the Bible and explanation about the Bible, the biblical stories, and reading about history, I would see that there's a fair bit of things that just don't add up. And it was quite a
Same here.
challenge. Yes, it was quite a challenge. Which took time because you start from faith, and faith isn't believing is not knowing, but your faith is that you have some divine writing or writing inspired by God, which supposedly tell you how the word was created, how humankind was created, and all those things that supposedly happened before our time. So in a way, not believing in those things. Okay, I'm gonna wait a couple of seconds because I can see there was some connection thing. Okay, so hopefully now it should be okay.
We can hear
So
you.
in
We can
this,
hear you. It was only a
oh,
pause visually.
okay, okay, I see. So thank you for that. So in the sense of believing in this literature, it seems as if you're not believing in God. So you kind of have some mixed feelings, for lack of a better word. But you can be worried, you can be afraid. Where do we come from? What about my people? This book basically doesn't really talk about my people. When it talks about Africans, and they are evil, and we're talking about, of course, the Egyptians, Pharaoh, which is anonymous, and so on. So the good things that you have scholars, and when I say scholars, I mean, PhDs, who have stated that the Exodus story is folklore, that it did not take place historically in history. And that reminds me when I was talking to this Tazaria dude who has no problem supporting the convicted child molester. And at the beginning, he was acting like
Yeah,
uh, it's established. He talked about attestation for Moses and Miriam. I mean, in 2023, our people are so gullible and so unknowledgeable that somebody's going to make such a weird claim like that. And I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, at least Pastor Bennett is not that bold, you know. Now, I'm not
yeah.
seeing now listening to what Pastor Bennett has to say, but it's just weird. But so on the flip side, you learn about other cultures. You learn about ancient Egypt, and you realize that contrary to what is written in the Bible, we're dealing with a very advanced civilization, very orderly and organized civilization, which had great moral values, great moral code, which is encompassed
Yeah.
in that simple word, ma'at.
Oh, and
So we
speaking of my
have
art,
ma'at,
so
which shows. Mhm.
I'm sorry, Shock. I'm sorry,
Go
Shocking.
ahead, brother.
I
No, it's
remember I
okay. Go
had a
ahead.
friend of mine. I remember I had a friend of mine. He was a Nuwapian. The Doctor
Hmm.
York, all that stuff, right?
Of
And
course, I
they
know.
actually have their own version of the Book of the Dead. Per and Heru. So that was like I was reading it, and they have a lot of pictures in there. But I'm telling myself, I'm like, bro, like just go to the actual source. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so that's all we have to do.
Just go to the actual source. So yeah, man, I'm telling people, man, like stop believing what other people tell you. Like just go to the sources. I
Yeah.
I had to learn. I had to learn that the hard way. So I'm just trying to help you guys out. So that's just something I had forgot about, and it just popped in my head. So
New Orleans, they came up with their own language that they call Nuapic. They mix a lot of everything. Many people feel like the Nuwapians were Kemetic before anything. There was surely a great influence from ancient Egypt, but the fact remains that there were Moors, United Wahabian nation of Moors is what it was. So they were, we could argue, more Islamic than Kemetic, just like many Moors, whether they are temple Moors or not, many of them carry the Ankh and talk about, Kemet. Not only they carry the Ankh and talk about Kemet, but some of them have Kemetic names on ancient Egyptian names before the Bay or before the L. But
And then they went through a Freemasonry phase, where all of a sudden they're 720 degrees. You know what I mean?
they kind of touch on everything, a bit of everything here and there, But the the more science temple of America indeed, derives ultimately from Freemasonry, just like the Nation of Islam. Oh, we have your brother Young Heru. Feel free to speak, brother.
Oh, I just came in. I even know what the topic is about.
Well, the topic, there's no topic, so feel free. Any question, any comments is welcome. Whether you agree or disagree is fine. I don't mind if people don't share my views. We can dialogue. So take this opportunity.
I'd say we're kind of just
So
freestyling, bro.
please
We're just talking about anything and
feel free to
everything.
continue, Chris.
All right, I understand. I just been looking, to see what's been going on lately, and what I'm saying, I don't really like what they've been doing to Shaka lately, especially with the whole Sonetta situation. To be honest, I think that he's running from the truth. He's more worried about his platform. He's more worried about views. And when anybody real step to him, he disrespect them, just like Neo X. And I think that is only because Shaka is not popular in America. He feel like he has the right to disrespect him because nobody's not gonna stick up for Shaka because everybody's worried about popularity and being famous. So even those that don't agree with Sanada, they're not gonna say nothing. Like I'm surprised to not see Jabari or Sekou say anything about the situation yet. Have those
Oh, I'm glad
brothers
you said that.
has those brothers even contact you, Shaka, as far as the situation?
Well, Jabari is a great brother,
Yeah.
No, he
and
is. I just don't
Like
know
Jabari,
why he messes with
yeah,
those teams. He's better than that, and he knows that. He's better than that.
yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem with the community because they feel like Saneda is popular and they will bite their tongue and like you can't put your dignity aside because somebody is helping you get views. You have to stand up to the plate and just like he apologized to the so-called community for what he said about Neo X. He only did that because he's worried about being banned or being canceled, but he never apologized to Shaka. You know what I'm saying? I thought like, how can you be mad at a man that's bringing out the truth about what you said already? I mean, Chingy is not making anything up. So why you mad at Shaka? You do the same thing on your panel. People talk about everybody on your panel. You know
And
what I'm
cuss
saying?
everybody out. Cuss
Yeah, this
everybody
is what
out.
I'm saying. Anytime he's mad, he cussed them out, and then 2 days later, if it has any consequences, he's gonna apologize. But I don't like how he been disrespecting Shaka when this guy, you know what I'm saying, to me, Sanada, he only know what people tell him. He's not a historian. He's not a what do you call it, philosopher.
Hey
He's
man,
not.
bro, he barely be speaking English correctly. All right, and what
Yeah,
be
I
kind
mean,
of
I'm
make
not
me
trying
mad.
to, what I mean, I'm not trying to. I just thought that he was more stand up person than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have pedophiles on your channel, and they're
I agree.
pedophiles. But the only reason you have them is because they bring you views. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how long you gonna debate the same thing over and over. No matter what religion they bring, they have nothing to stand on. So all these so-called religious guys that's talking about they win this debate and they win that debate, they haven't won nothing. I've been watching this. I've been watching Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark way before. I mean, this information is everywhere. You could read books on top of books. Sanada is not doing nothing special. It's just that people don't like to read. So
Boy.
they rather take somebody else's opinion instead of research it themselves. So that's how I feel about the whole situation. I feel like he's lying, he's scared of the truth, and he won't step to the plate because he's more worried about money and views. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing with these men like Dr. Reggie. Excuse me, Reggie. He's not a doctor. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's Little Reggie. That's Little Reggie, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He likes every document he always speaks on is from the white man. He always have this degree, that degree. I mean, but what you doing with your life? Why you always begging the people for $1? Nobody even asks you to bring this information, bro. This information is out there already. There's books on top of books you could read. And you talking about degree and this and that, but what you doing for the people? You are not doing anything for the people, man. All these degrees you have, you it seems like you a bomb. You begging
Straight up.
people, yeah, you begging people for their hard-earned money. If somebody wants to give you money, that's okay, because you know what I mean. If I feel like you deserve it and I appreciate the work that you do, I don't mind sending you the money, but you don't beg anybody for nothing. You
Hey,
know
but
what I'm
like you
saying?
said, bro, like they don't bring nothing new to the table. You never,
This
like you
is what
said,
I'm
they're not
saying.
bringing
I've
new
been
information.
listening to the same thing for the last 10 years. The debate is over. You know what I'm saying? When are we going to preach Kemet? When are we going to imply, I mean, about the principles and what are we doing to progress our people? We are not doing anything. We just keep going over the same thing over and over again. It helps nobody. It just creates division. And that's what happening on Sanada channel. You know? Like,
And if
no.
you notice, cause I'm sorry, brother. Like if you notice, cause like I said, like I was around back in the day, and that's why like I had to leave that whole alleged conscious community because, like you said, if you everyone like in the chat or watching, go look at the stuff from years ago. They're still talking about the same stuff. Nothing has changed.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Same,
Exactly.
the same debate.
The thing about it is they even disrespecting the elders that brought them all the information. Everything they talk about, if it wasn't for the elders, they wouldn't have no clue. You understand me? And these elders had discussion with top scholars, no matter if it's white, black, all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And who are you? You a YouTube scholar, man. You haven't proved anything. You haven't teach me anything new. So for you to speak on, especially these like Captain to Zariak, like man, this is the biggest idiot on Saneda platform. But he hold him such to a high standard. It's pathetic. And he only do that because of money. This is all that it comes down.
And
I thought he was
I'm
a
gonna say something.
stand-up person, but from back in the days when he was on the streets with Polite and Sarum Seti and Seti is still dropping information every day, man. New information, things that would just shock you, like whoa. You know what I'm saying? That's why he can't be on Sanada platform, because he will shut the whole show down. All these debates and all these Pastor Bennett and Chris Harris and a grown men in their emotions like females. I mean, it's pathetic, man. You know, they need to really like people like Jabari, Sekou. I need to see Sekou, Jabari, Morpheus, all these people on Shaka platform having a discussion with him. Don't go ask Sanetta about Shaka, because he's not gonna be honest. He's not gonna tell you the truth. The other day, Sister Energy, whatever Secret Energy, was in the chat, and she was asking him about, you. And he just disrespect you in like the most, ridiculous way. I'm like, that's so pathetic, you know what I mean? But you disrespect Neo the other day, and because you getting backlash from the gay community, you quick to apologize.
Oh, I caught that, bro.
Yeah,
I
you see
caught
what I'm
that.
saying? Why? Why you
Yeah, I
so quick
caught
to
that, bro.
apologize to these people that
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
even know? Because it's about money. You know what I mean?
And then at the end of the show, they're having a talent show. Like, come on,
Oh
bro.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's another thing, man. I think this is how you know these people are not conscious. Ain't no conscious man trying to rap, bro. Trust me. I used to rap. You know what I'm saying?
Me
Can
too.
you hear me,
Me, and
boss?
me too. And I was nice with the bars.
True, I feel you. You were saying something,
Word,
Shaka?
bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Um, on my end, it's been breaking up quite a fair
Yeah,
bit of
you
time.
know
So
what's
if you
going
don't
on. You
mind,
know it's they the
young
ones
Harold,
doing that. I'm pretty sure they probably
yeah. I
flagging
mean,
your
honestly, I
channel.
haven't listened to this.
We
Oh,
Shaka,
well, they
we
can
hear you
try.
very clearly.
They can try, but
We we
yeah.
we hear you, Shaka,
But young
clearly.
Harold,
It's
if you
just
don't mind, can
a
you just
visual
come again?
delay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, young Harold, if you don't mind, can you just come again with what you said? You mentioned some. I don't know if you mentioned the sister, uh,
Oh yeah,
Empress energy.
Empress.
But can
Yeah,
you just
infinite
come again with what you
energy.
said because I couldn't hear it all.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was listening to the show the other day. Like I don't even listen to Sanada anymore unless it's Jabari or somebody that I want to hear say something. But she was in the chat asking about you, and he just disrespectful and, oh, we don't f with this French nigga and yada yada, you know what I'm saying? And I was just saying like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could you disrespect a man that never did you anything? First of all, you the one that started the drama because you mad that a man came on his show and exposed what you already said. So you mad at Chingy, so now you disrespecting Shaka. You never apologize. I bet you never called a man and talk to him like a man. You know what I'm saying? So you slander his name. Now, when he respond to
No,
you
no, I
and
hear you,
start,
and thank you for. Hmm.
when you start talking back bad about him, now he's mad
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
go ahead. You cut it out.
mm, yeah. Thank you for the info. But like you mentioned the sister in the chat. Like, was he dissing the sister? Was he being
No,
like
no, no. She
condescending
was she was
towards
trying
her?
to she was trying to get the information about you and the situation, and he disrespect
All
you,
right.
you know. And
Okay.
that's the thing. That's
Yes.
the thing
Yes.
about these humans. You know what I'm saying? They don't care unless it happens to them. They don't care about other people unless it's their family. And I understand where Shaka coming from because Americans don't understand in other countries like France and in the Caribbeans, there are less penalties and laws towards that. So it happens elsewhere even more than America, as far as grown men taking advantage of little children. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where he's coming from, and any man with a child, a sister, a mother would understand where he's coming from. But you could tell they don't care, so they quick to sweep it under the rug and get back to making their money. And that's why I think nobody should pay for no debates on Saneda's show anymore because he's not real, he's not truthful, and he's more about what people give him than moving us forward. That's how I feel about the whole situation.
And honestly, like what you're talking on too. Again, like I said, go back last year, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that. They're talking about the same stuff. They're
Yeah,
debating the same stuff.
yeah.
Nothing is new, man. They're
Nope.
scamming y'all. As a matter of fact, the debates are scams.
Oh
What are
yeah,
y'all
yeah, yeah.
debating about?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because it's a scam because you have no scholars speaking. You just have people that want to run their mouth, act like they know it all.
Man, bro,
You know.
look. If these people really had the information like that, that's like I said on the show before. I would never debate nobody, like nobody in the community, because like if you really got real information, you go and challenge the expert,
I
like real
understand.
talk.
Yeah, you're right.
And like you said, and like you said, they scared of SETI.
Well, I just wanted to say it's just disappointing because I thought Sanetta, he talked so high and proudly and stick his chest out like he the man of all mans, you know. But when the truth come out, you running from the truth and you disrespecting people you know you could get away with it. But those you know you
Yep.
can't get away with, you quick to apologize. I mean, any man with common sense could see the narrative and could see a man's heart by the way he acts, you know. So at the end of the day, all these people that still on Sonata platform, who I thought was better, who I thought was, historians and philosophers and all of that, they just as bad as him because they see what's going on. They behind doors talking about it. I'm pretty sure they having discussion about Shaka, about everything behind closed doors. Why don't they come on his platform and speak about it? I mean,
That.
I just don't get the issue. And any of these people that's going to pay for Chris or for Captain Tazariev debates, they are not
Hey,
conscious
hey, he ain't
leaders.
no captain. Hey, he ain't no captain, bro. He is not a captain. A captain of what?
I'm
He ain't
just
in the
saying,
military.
okay, he be capping. He be capping, basically. He captain
Yeah.
because he always capping.
Basically, Captain Kazoriak.
Yeah, exactly.
Not captain,
uh,
Captain Kazoriak.
all right.
And
Let, let, let me.
how can you have any respect for a man that talk bad about Martin Luther King? How can you have any respect about a man that talk bad about Bob Marley? Like, really, bro? You could even fit Bob Marley's shoes in 1,000 years. Like, how can you even speak on a man that's way greater than you? What are you doing? When you die, the only people that's gonna remember you is your family members and that little circle you got.
Bars.
You understand?
Bars.
But you have the nerves to speak about men that was way greater than you. That's legendary. That you could never even compare to. And people on the panel and Saneda sit on here listening to this. That's why black people will never get nowhere.
Yep. Stuck
Well,
in a cycle
really,
of ignorance.
yeah, cycle of ignorance indeed. I mean, him saying that Martin Luther King was an ish, and then using the B word when describing Martin Luther King, and then on the same breath, we have him on tape supporting a convicted child molester. I mean, this some things, they cannot just get around it, So but it's on them, it's on them. But let me propose that we hear from our brother Jay Heru, and then the sister Dots as well. So Jay Heru, feel free to speak, brother.
Peace, fellas. What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
We hear you,
I
God.
can hear you. Feel free to speak, brother. Sorry about yesterday. The connection was just too bad. So feel free
Oh
to take from
yeah,
where you left off, brother. Yeah.
yeah. I kind of figured it had them dropped out,
People are
but
like,
yeah, just going back to that situation, man.
yeah, bro, you gotta put them niggas on blast.
Hello, who that is?
This is a kind.
Young
Somebody else
Hero,
talking.
I've muted you because we could hear what you were saying. It sounds like you were talking to somebody else. So feel free to unmute yourself when you want to, brother Young Hero. So go ahead, Young Hero. Feel free.
Okay, yeah. Just going back to that what we was talking about last night, man. It's I don't know if you had a chance to see that other video that he was playing, that Sinetta was playing the other day, but I did. I watched the whole video, and to me, I just don't see how. To me, it seemed like Mighty Hebrew and that other lady that was on there, like they they fooled them because it's like they focus so much on the age, and that's what Mighty Hebrew was saying was, you know, well. We were only 2 years apart. They tried to lie and say that she was 13. She was actually 15. He was 17 when it happened. But I'm like, okay, but he got two separate charges. I mean, he had got a
Oh,
total of
hard.
five in all, right? But he got two separate charges, and then he's trying to lie like statutory rape and rape is all one charge. I'm like, no, that's it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it was only statutory rape, then why didn't they just charge you with that? You know what I mean? But you also got a rape charge too. You know, and we know statutory rape and rape is not the same thing. I just don't
Indeed.
see how they wasn't able to see through. I couldn't believe. I'm like, damn, you can't see this. Like he done fooled y'all with this whole age thing. Yeah, okay, we get that. Well, let's get past that part. He still got convicted of rape. And he ain't show. He's saying he got, he's saying that the girl recanted her statements or whatever. But now, mind you, you showed all your court records, all your, you saying you took a lie detector test and all this stuff, but you ain't showed nothing about what you were you saying that this girl supposedly recanted her statements. And then another thing I thought was strange too. Sarnetta kept saying, and even Mighty Hebrew, that's been over 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. And so when I went on the show and I asked him, I said, have you, like, okay, you said you didn't do it and you were wrongfully convicted, like, have you been exonerated for it? Are you getting it off your record? Like, I mean, what's up? Because when I go back and look it up, it's still there. So, like, if I call you a rapist, I mean, that's what your records show. You know what I mean? So it's like all this time gone by, and he's saying that he working to get it off. Now, mind you, when they did the video, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, he said the same thing. I mean, if you saying you didn't do it, like, okay, it's been 30 years ago. What's up? Why you hadn't fixed this? Like, you ain't sued them to try to get I mean, I don't get it.
So let me get this straight, brother Jeru. And for the records, for those who don't know, I've stopped listening to the House of Rapists a while back.
Bars.
So
Out the
uh,
rapist. Bars.
P- yeah, and if I understand correctly, they played some of the 5 year intervention where he
Yeah.
was clearing his name, and then he was there and he added some information as well, or did he just play the old stuff only?
No, he just played the old stuff. I mean, it wasn't new, nothing new
I
that
don't know
he
if you could
showed. Like I
hear.
say, he didn't show anything new. It was still the same rhetoric. He's still saying, see, I don't, some kind of way, he got Sarnetta fooled about the whole age thing because Sarnetta was focused on that too. Well, my wife was this age and I was this age when we got married and we had kids. They was talking about all this other irrelevant stuff. I'm like, man, that age, okay, we can throw the age thing out. You know what I'm saying? If y'all was only 2 years apart, but what about the rape charge?
Well, they are used to having gullible people. I mean, one of their top moderators are only fan chick. And then they want to talk
Right.
about morality and high standard for the community, but they're just defending their bread, they're defending their paper. And it's sad, because um I'm not the only one who let him know that he has a choice now. He has an opportunity to take the higher road. There's nothing that ties him to those people who are convicted for child molestation, you know. But this is a choice that he's making. This is a decision that he has taken, and he's going to have to pay the consequences for that. You know what I'm saying? They can say everything they want about me being in France, uh, and whatever else they try to say, but I'm not rolling with no child molesters. I'm not defending child molesters, and I surely have not raped any man, woman, children, or animal on this planet Earth. So I'm very comfortable in my shoes. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
some people, they rock with some individuals have a very questionable background. And they just get mad at you for pointing that out. And the first person that pointed that out with the mighty Hebrew is actually Garfield Reed.
Garfield. Yep.
And it's so funny how life can be ironic because they came up with that last stream that I didn't watch once again, but I saw it was up. And then just yesterday, I played Garfield Reed. That was 4 years ago because 2 months ago, Garfield
And
Reed
that's
was
only one
still
video,
cool.
Shaka. He made more than one video about Mighty Hebrew. That's only one.
But you see, you're informing me right now because 4 years ago, I didn't know Trackfield. Kind of knew him like
You know what was funny?
yeah. Feel free, brother. Feel free,
I'm
please.
sorry. Well, so what was funny about it? Because honestly, I don't even watch Sarnetter. I don't even know what. Honestly, I think because I saw that it was like I don't know what the title was, but I knew like Mighty Hebrew was gonna allegedly explain himself. So as I'm watching it, they try to explain it away, and that's what I'm saying. Like these people are not conscious people because people in the chat were like agreeing, like, oh, he's not a rapist, he's not this. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're not even
Yeah.
talking about the rape part. And then at the end, like I said, they try to turn it into a talent show. They showing songs, people rapping,
Yeah, that was
and
crazy.
it's a distraction, bro. It's a distraction. Bro, these people are clowns, man. And that's what I'm saying, yo. That's why the world can't take black people serious because we can't get past the dumb stuff, you know. And we have black people all over the planet, man. So when they talk about if you're from France, you're not black, and like I said, I got family in France, and like we're everywhere, man. Like that shows how small minded they are. And I'm gonna be quiet because I want the brother and the sister to talk to me.
Well, yeah, actually, and thank you for this info, brothers and sisters. It's so funny, the talent show, man. This really trying to divert. Um, but American Dream, as usual, please show your face. That's a requirement. Everybody else showing their face. But we have the sister Dots. Feel free to speak, sister.
Hey y'all, peace to the chat. I have my camera off. I had dental work done, so my mouth is a little bit sore, and I don't want to sound too
Well,
unclear.
so I saw your face earlier, so it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
So feel free
no
to speak,
problem.
sister. Or did you say you didn't want to speak? Or
No, I said that I turned my camera off because I have dental work going on, and my mouth is a little bit swollen. That's all. But I did show 'em. Okay, so good
yeah.
evening, you guys over here on this part of the world, at least. Peace to chat. I have a few questions before I make a few of my points. How long
Well, feel
have
free.
you guys watched Sinetta on HOK
Well,
or
I
go
I,
ahead.
I will say I knew about Sa uh back in probably, I'm hesitant if it's 2007 or 2008.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was 2005, but like I told him not long ago before he started defending rapists and pedophiles that I remember the account Sanetta7, and he said he still has it, but he just forgot his password. Now, if you forget your password, you're supposed to just use your email address to retrieve it, but maybe he had several different addresses. I don't know the deal. But I knew him when he was not showing his face. He would interview people and he was not showing his face. So, yeah, somewhere around 2007, I would say at least maybe 2007, 2008, something like that.
Okay. How about the other brothers on the panel? How long have you guys?
Uh, I'm sorry, sister. For me, like I would say like 2012, because I remember even buying a DVD from him. Because like I said at the time, I was gullible. I didn't know what was going on. So
Mhm.
yeah, for me, I would say like about 10, 11 years.
Okay.
But sister, I'd rather you try to, if you
Yeah.
have questions, feel free to ask me. But if you
Yeah.
ask everybody else, it's gonna take a while. So feel free with your questions, but
Okay. No
maybe try to
problem.
direct them to me.
No
Yes,
problem.
yes.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to get some quick background. And so at the end, so what was the overall response that you took away in terms of the weigh-in? Like after you did your weigh-in or what have you? Like what, when you're thinking about it, what was the people saying? Like what was their reactions
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. What was the people saying
to
about
your
what?
weigh-in? What were the responses to the weigh-in? To the weigh-in that you had with Tat to
Oh, the Wayne. Oh,
Riot?
the Wayne. Well, to Zaria. Yeah. I did a live stream right after the
Mhm,
Wayne, and well, overall, this is what people said online on the air. This is what people
mhm,
said on the email. the chat, the comments, and private conversations. Uh, in summary, Sa was not neutral, which was very strange. Sa informed me the day before, or actually the same day, I received the text message on WhatsApp. I think it was, I received it at 2 a.m., but I saw it at 4 a.m. I woke up in the middle of the night. There was no topic, and it was supposed to be pre-debate. And then we spoke. He was non-neutral, and he was acting like, okay, go in, talk about this, talk about that. I mean, you cannot, force a topic on somebody when there was no agreed topic. He told me to choose a title. He told me to choose several. So what I realized after is that he did that to seek revenge because he didn't like, notably Ching Ching, the brother Ching Ching, who is a supporter as well. And just because he didn't like what somebody else said, and he seek revenge, and maybe some Hebrew Israelites as well pressed him because before that Wayne, I was talking about the child molesters, and people gave us information, including ISUPK, and I was able to show and prove that indeed what the author said, Hannah D. Spive, or Spive, I'm not sure how it's pronounced exactly, but the author of the book Why I Left the Hebrews Light. Now the title might not exactly be that, but I've shown that before. Um, she did mention that there was one ISUPK guy who went to jail for child molestation, and that the Zayak was supporting him, and what happened is that after the weighing, I was given the link to the actual tape, and I've been playing that tape ever since. So he actually lied during the weighing, talking about his brother, was innocent and he was slender, and Sanetta also in the end label my statements gossiping. So it was something that they have planned, and this is the kind of thing that they are accustomed to. They're acting like something is on the fly, but it's actually planned and prepared. It was a setup,
Mm.
but it backfired because I did not lie. It is a matter of public record, and Tozayak himself is on tape in his own cross the line radio show when the sister called, and I think you've seen it. She asked him, do you have a brother who is in prison for child molestation? What they try to play on is, oh, the guy is out, and actually we can hear him say he's out, and actually that same guy, and I told him that same guy, Captain King Tom, he when I did the last stream, is this Hebrews or like in jail, right? He left a comment and said, I'm right here, lol, what the F? So then I asked him,
Mm.
hey, did you do that? He didn't reply. You know what I'm saying? So they were playing on the, oh, he's out. Okay, he's out now, but then he was in jail for that. You know what I'm saying? So Tazarak said
Okay.
of his own mouth that there was a guilty verdict. So the guy is a convicted child molester, and Tazarak supports him. But feel free, sister.
Okay. Okay. So that's something I didn't know either. About in terms of the topic, when you were just saying that you wanted to, or you were at least hoping to talk about convicted child molesters, right, in the Hebrew Israelite community. Is that sort of the lane you were trying to go in when you did the weigh-in? Was that the topic that you wanted to talk about?
No, there was no topic at all. There was no
So it was
topic. It
just
was
like
just
a meet and greet, like,
it was a way, like people say, to feel each other out, no homo, pause.
right.
So I touched on that, I asked a question, you know what I'm saying? Then Tazayak first tried to be on some booty mode, like, yo, that's slender and if, and straight away I told him, look, you were sweet with work, you know what I'm saying? If you want to make the long story short, sister, they use an opportunity to protect a convicted child molester because all they care about is
Okay.
their paper. One guy is doing advertisement to sell his oil, and the other guy is getting benefit from this advertisement, probably monetarily wise or some other ways. But something looks bad, and in order to cover it, they try to make me look like a fool who's just spending his time gossiping and slandering people. You know, did
So
you
I
see
was at,
Tazariak admit? Did you see
I'm sorry.
Tazariak admitting from his own mouth? Did you see Tazariak's on tape saying that
Mm,
he supports his brother who was convicted for child molestation? Did you see that video, sister?
no, I did not.
Okay, please
No, I
have a
did
look.
not.
It's not long.
Um,
Here it is.
so
Were you accused of molesting your wife's niece, who is your niece through marriage?
I have no recollection of that. You would have to inform me of what you're talking about. I have no recollection of that.
Okay, I will be able to one day. So I have my third question. Captain Cesario, do you have a homie that's in prison right now for child molestation that you support financially?
Yes.
But I thought you were against child molestation and those that are molesters to children.
I am against child molestation and those that molest children.
So why are you supporting this person, but you speak ill against others that have a love for people that have been just accused of child molestation?
Okay, I'll answer your question very easily. When I was at both cases of both trials, the evidence that they had, they gave the brother a lie detector test, which he passed. They tested the sister for the young girl, rather, whether her hymen was broke because he was accused of molesting her. Her hymen was not broke. A hymen, for those that don't know, a hymen is something that they use to test to see if the woman's or the child's virginity has been broken or anything like that. There was information that she said that she gave, which she then retracted. So the first case that they did was thrown out. The second case, they did not want to answer to. The jury was hung on it, and the judge did not want to release them until they came up with an answer, and then they came up with a guilty verdict. So from observing the case, if he was guilty of the crime, I would in no way support the brother. But from the evidence of the case, from the testimonies of him as well as the individuals involved, he was not guilty, even though he was found guilty.
Wow, so he was not guilty even though he was found guilty, but you speak ill against someone else that is not guilty, but they say he was guilty. So I have a question. This brother that you support, does he have children?
Yes.
And if so, do you ever say to those children, you have a father that's a child molester?
No, I don't.
Well, why do you do that to others that have a love for Dr. Malachi Z. York Ill and cause his children of him being a quote-unquote so-called child molester, and you speak for supporting him?
Oh, sister, so I'm sure you've seen it and heard it, and you heard the end. The white dude, Katazak, the Puerto Rican, Ricky Martin dude, he played that shut the F up to get the sister out of the panel. So what more what more do you need, sister? He's on tape admitting that he supported ISUPK member who was convicted in the court of law. There was a guilty verdict for child molestation. This is what Sanetta has been defending.
So okay, so I don't know if you understood like my questions or the intent of the questions. I wasn't questioning the validity of whether or not what you're saying is correct or not. The reason why I had asked those questions initially when I was saying how long did you guys watch Sinetta, I wanted to get a time frame because for me, I feel like at times it's very hypocritical, to be honest, because if you've been watching, or anyone for that matter, HOK, Sinetta TV, or what have you, or any of the other people that go on there and have channels, and let's say that you've been watching over a span of years, right? A person can take that as support as well. And, it's interesting because I've seen this happen often and it's not just even on SA's platform. I've seen this happen just generally. So I think maybe it's human nature, but it's like, the information.
Sister, hold on, please. Hold on, sister. It was breaking up on my end. That's why I removed the video, because some people advise me to try that. Maybe it's going to be better for the audio. But if you don't, sister, I kind of heard you mention hypocritical. Can you just backtrack a little bit so I can hear you? Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll repeat it. I said that, the reason why I asked the questions initially about how long you guys have watched his platform is to get an awareness, kind of know just how long, right? Because it sounds like it's new information and it's not, right? So oftentimes, if this information in terms of
hold that thought, please. Brothers, is it breaking up on your end when the sister is speaking, or is it only on my end? Because when she speaks, it's breaking up on my end. Can you hear her well?
Just a little bit,
I can
but
hear
I
her.
hear.
don't agree with her because I think she's making a lot of assumptions about what
Yeah, me
people
neither.
have seen and heard
You can't
without.
disagree yet if I haven't completed my thought. It's kind of, you know,
Well, you said you
I
believe it's
haven't finished
hypocritical, so
anything as of yet.
that
So
was
can I
enough for me.
continue? That's fine. That's fine. So let's continue,
Okay,
okay?
well, sister,
Anyway,
feel free. What do you think? What do you think? What do
so
you
what I
think
was
is
saying is
hypocritical,
that,
sister?
yeah, so let's for the third. So I was saying that, you know, the grievances that I'm hearing on the panel as of now, in terms of the child molestation, or in terms of Sa being a charlatan, in terms of whoever else is on the panel that's coming up there, you know, let's say having criminal backgrounds, X, Y, and Z. This information has been out there for God knows how long. And so, what
To
I'm saying,
who? Who has it been out there to? The
it
people
has
that
been
watch
out
it?
there. Everything
To
it has
everyone?
been out there. So no,
Okay,
I'm saying a lot of the
but not to
grievances,
everybody. Not to
a lot,
everybody, though.
right, and a lot of the grievances. Let's try this again. So a lot of the grievances that I'm hearing, right, the issues or what have you, that I actually agree with to some degree, right? Just in terms of how the platform is handled, how he moderates the conversations. But one thing I do know is that ever since I was put on to that he even existed in the world, that he had this channel or what have you, he's been quite consistent in terms of how he runs his platform. And I can tell you guys, for me, there's been times where I don't watch, right? It can go on close to a damn year where I'm not really
All right,
interested in
sister,
the conversation.
Me too.
hold on, sister, because
Absolutely.
And then I'll come back
I'm
in.
trying to have a dialogue. I don't want it to be monologue, but I would like you to just check this. Listen, it's hold
Thank
on,
you,
sister,
neutral for
please.
wellness.
It's less
Thank
than
you.
20 seconds. Hold on, sister. It's less than 20
Thank you.
seconds. Please just have a look at this.
You know, the brother Mighty Hebrew, if I'm not mistaken, Garfield said that he was there was some sexual misconduct. You know, the brother Mighty Hebrew, if I'm not mistaken, Garfield said that he was there was some sexual misconduct.
Nah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't
Yeah,
want to
okay,
talk
okay,
about
okay, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying what was
Right,
stated
right.
publicly. Garfield
Right,
said
right.
that publicly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So just so
And
that you and everybody else can know, hold on, sister. The first time I was a guest on Sinetta's platform, I tried to address that issue of child molestation regarding the Mighty Hebrew. You heard the response. Okay, now
okay.
there was some connection stuff, but
And
hopefully now you can hear me. So the second thing, the Zaryak's tape admitting that he supported his brother, I got to know about this tape after the weigh-in. So I don't know what you're trying to say, but it sounds to me like your argument is, okay, we all knew about this, so it's fine. I mean, if it's
that's
fine
not
with you, then
that's
I
But
not
get
what
it,
I
but we
said.
didn't.
And what
But
else are
we
we going to
didn't.
say?
But that's not
But
what I
she has
said.
no proof that any of us knew anything at any time. And she
No.
hasn't asked us when we found out about any of this. She never bothered to ask that question. So that's where I'm lost at. It's easier to ask people things than to assume them.
Bennett, um, Bennett, I don't know if you were here from the beginning of the conversation, but one of the first questions that I
Yeah, I
had,
was.
excuse me, one of the first questions that I had asked the entire panel, well, everyone didn't get a chance to, because Shaka said direct the question to him or what have you. Um, that was
How
what that's
long have we been watching
I wanted to
Sonetta?
get a background. I wanted to get an understanding to how long you guys have viewed Sonetta and continue to still be on his panel,
Oh,
continue to
whoa.
still write comments, continue to
Sister,
excuse me.
sister,
You can say
sister,
no.
you have the right to
Sister, you're missing the
I'm not
point.
you
being
have the right to defend
argumentative. You
Sanada,
said it's an open, excuse
but
me, but can I? This is the interesting thing about this all, okay? Because when, like, real talk, Shaka, like, I'm here as a member, I'm supporting, right? I've tried to come, it didn't work out the last time. I wanted to catch one of your lives to jump on a panel when you were discussing something else and it didn't work. I'm not up here at all, right, to get into a battle of the wills or a battle of differences in opinion. I cannot even complete a full thought before I'm interrupted, right? So in terms
yeah,
of
but sister,
assumptions,
You are very long-winded. I mean, you start off asking, and you wanted to ask everybody on the panel how long we've been watching Sanada. Even if you watch Sanada for the last 20 years, it doesn't make a difference. We have convicted child molesters who get on this platform on a regular basis. He has no problem with and there will go me being unlucky again. So now that apparently I hope you can hear me. So Sanada has no problem with having convicted child molesters on his platform. Reggie has no problem with that. And apparently you have no problem with that. But you're not going to make us change our mind. We have a problem with that. I mean, so where do we take it from there?
At what part, what did I say that would ever give you the inference that that is what I'm saying?
Sister,
But
can I say one thing, please? I'm sorry.
it's hard to even get clarity when every time I am finishing up a thought, it's interrupted. So I get it. I don't have to say anything else. I'll drop down. You said it was an open panel. You said all opinions are welcome. That's all. You don't even know where I was going with this. But at the
Okay,
end, my
okay, sister.
I'm
Just
dropping down. Y'all have a like this is interesting. I think that
no,
when
no,
you
no.
take speak,
Just get
Yeah,
to
but
your
sister,
point and
you
just
have
I
to
would
learn to
love
get to
to.
no.
a
Let
point
her
because
finish.
you're making a monologue.
Only
You come in here
I'm
as
not
if you
making a
want to tell us
monologue.
it's
I have to start
hypocritical,
over
like
every
because
20 seconds,
okay, well,
Chakra.
Hold on,
go
hold.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, just let her finish her point. Just try to shorten
There's
it as
no,
quick as you can, please.
it's done. It's not important. That's not necessary at all. All right. Y'all have a good
Don't say that because I wanted to respond to what you were saying.
not a I will you're more
Because
than
I
welcome
think you
to.
are very
I don't know
intelligent. I
what
just think you're
you're
a little
gonna
too
say.
emotional. Just
No,
get
I'm
to
not
the point and
emotional.
don't make it long winded. That's all. That's all he's trying to say.
I get
I
it. I
would
get it.
like to hear the rest of it.
I get it. No problem. So y'all have a good the rest of the good panel. I'm dropping down because I am
No,
not
sister,
like this is crazy. Okay.
Okay, well,
Peace,
Oh
first
y'all.
of
man.
all,
Have a good evening.
since she's done, I'm just gonna make something very clear. I started watching Sonetta years ago, and I stopped years ago too. I stumbled back on because I'm a black man that comes across black media, and I didn't stop watching Sonetta because I hated him. It was just some of the foolishness, but it wasn't any awareness of race. Okay, that's a little bit different, sister. And so the other thing is that you could just ask us when did Shaka come across the knowledge of rape? And me and myself, I
Yeah.
came across that very recently when I spoke up. And it only seems like it's a problem now that I came across it, spoke up, and said I don't like it. No one came in before and showed me anything else. It seems like we're being blamed for speaking up and doing the right thing when we find out.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
That's
and
all.
she
I
was
just want to
asking the
say
wrong
something real
question.
quick. Because just like he said, even if I've been watching Sonata, it doesn't mean I'm always watching him. So I'm not keeping up with everything that's going on. So a lot of things, especially with Mighty Hebrew, I understand the situation. He was young, whatever the case may be. But a lot of these things are new to me as well. And you speaking about being hypocritical, I mean, what is the definition for that? To be honest, because how can you be hypocritical by just speaking on something that's facts, And nobody's not trying to say, oh, kill the person or get rid of them, but they can be on the front line on people's platforms speaking highly and proudly, knowing their background. And that's not the kind of people you want to represent. That's why you have all this confusion right now, because people are confused. They are not even well with themselves, within themselves, to come and speak. So that's the only issue I see with the whole hypocritical speech. She's making excuses basically, and that's not cool.
She assumed that I was aware of something I was not aware about when I only spoke out about it when I became aware. That's
Not just you,
hypocritical.
but all of us. She did all of us. She was talking to all of us.
And I'm not understanding the message. Is the message that when black men find out things are wrong and they speak out about them, that we should not speak out? Is that the message? Because if that's not the message, then I don't get what the message is. We have to be
Well,
It's good to ask questions, but assuming is not asking. That's not the same thing as investigating. Assuming
Hmm.
has nothing to do with investigating, and it has nothing to do with wanting to know knowledge. So I'm a bit confused by that. I would never expect a black woman to take that perspective. So I'm a little bit shocked by that. But I wish she would come back and address some of, our comments now that she has the ability to know what we think and to know our experience that we actually did not know. And by the way, sister, if you did know, please tell more people so they stop watching that platform.
Now, Nutri for
Well,
Wellness, hold on. Nutri for Wellness first wrote she didn't talk longer than other people. At the time he wrote that she did speak longer than other people. But then he wrote she was asking questions that was horrible. And then perspective did she take? I mean, she can ask questions, but you're gonna ask questions forever, like try to get to the point. Now, when she first started asking how long you knew Sanetta, I could feel it coming, but I still, let it go just to see where it was going. While Frank says that she was talking in circles, but this is just one of the talking points. It's all news. That's one of the talking. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the three main talking points coming from the only fan moderator and child molester defenders is it's gossiping, it's old
Hmm.
news, you're late, and it's slander. But slander they can no longer say it now. You know. Now, whether or not people want to argue the guy was young, the girl wasn't that young, fine. Rape. What do
Right.
we do with that? I'm not a
Right.
lawyer, but
Rape.
statutory
What
rape,
was the other
not the same as
charge?
rape. No judge is gonna say,
Delinquency. All that
oh, there
stuff.
was so many other brother. Oh man,
I mean, come
say
on.
deviant sexual act, forcible,
That's
whatever.
what
So
his
no judge is
people.
gonna say, well, you know
They
what?
let
Hey,
him.
she's
They let
underage.
him talk his way out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And she wanted to hear to come and talk her way out of it. You know, but no judge is gonna say, well, you know what? Hey, she's underage. You're still underage, but you know what? I'm gonna throw you under the bus, and I'm gonna put the statutory rape because she's underage, even though you're underage as well. And for the sake of it, I'm going to put rape period. No judge does that. Come on now. You know,
I
some
mean,
people are
yeah.
very, very
Yeah,
gullible.
he,
Now,
he
hold on. Hold on. Nutri for Wellness wrote, I think she was saying Mighty Hebrew rape case being discussed on Sinai platform years ago. Well, obviously, a lot of people didn't know about that. And
Yeah.
Garfield has made his video private just yesterday after I shared it in my
Wow. Really?
timeline for a reason. Yes, he did that. He did that.
You know why,
He
right?
did that. Yeah, but they're protecting each other.
You know why?
That's what they are
Because
doing.
him and Mighty Hebrew made up.
Yes.
Because I watched that whole video, that the initial video that Sonel was playing. I watched that whole video. Garfield called in at the end, and he was pressing Mighty Hebrew about that because I think Mighty Hebrew was trying to say that he had been exonerated for it, right? But yeah, like yeah, they somehow, some way they made up about that
To
because now
me,
And
he
you
ain't
know
putting
what's
it out there like
interesting?
that. Yeah, go ahead.
it's it
Yeah, but you
sounded
know what's
like,
interesting?
oh,
Even if
yeah.
Sa-
Go ahead, Shaka. Sorry, man.
yeah, just want to say, even if it was discussed on SaaS platform years ago. So now they talked about it and they decided that's it. They dealt with it, so nobody else can talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now,
It
I mean,
sounded like
what's the logic?
the
Go ahead, Bennett.
the message. It sounds like the message is they talked about it, but no one else should know this guy's a rapist. So that means you can't inform anyone else that they could be in danger. You can't inform any black woman that she could be in danger. You can't inform any black children that they can be in danger. You're just supposed to shut your mouth from now on. Where does that happen in the real world? Where's that expectation something reasonable? I don't understand that at all. I don't understand it, you know. And
And
before she came up, I was going to say one thing. I was going to say something about these guys. Like some of these people, when you violently rape, and let's talk, even just his own self admission. being, he's saying he was a young man. Yo, when you put these pieces together, a young man violently raping a young girl, that is a traumatic experience, even for the one who's raping. Now, my thought is just like, how do you just close the book on that without getting no help? Like, I don't see that as being like you can just close the book. To me, it sounds like you're dealing with a person that has some serious emotional problems, like serious. You don't just do acts like that and walk away from them without scarring yourself mentally. You don't. You see what I mean? Like some people can suppress it, a psychopath can, but yo, a person who does that needs a lot of help, straight up. And I haven't heard anybody say anything like, where's the help coming from? How do you deal with committing a violent act like that? That's not just like punching somebody in the face. They're talking about forcibly raping someone. Yo, that's an ugly thing. How do you do that to a person like you, a girl like you? That's not a sign of love. That's a sign of hate. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. Seriously, like.
Yeah, I
Young Hero, you
remember.
wanted to say something? Okay, go ahead, Gerald. Go ahead.
Yeah, just kind of remembering back from that video. Um, I do remember the other lady that was speaking on there. I think she said he had to go through some type of, I think it was sex offender training or therapy, something like that, man. But that was one of the things that they brought up too, But yeah, I don't know, to me, you know, out of his own mouth, he's basically saying that he didn't do it, right? But here's the thing, like you can say that, but what do you have to prove that? You know what I'm saying? Like because I can't really take your word because you've been convicted of it. Now he said he didn't have a jury trial. He had like a judge trial by a judge. You know what I mean? But one of the other questions I was asking too is like I didn't understand how he got hit with that statutory rape thing because like when you look at the court case, the victim's her birth date is on there, so you can clearly see how old she was. So I was kind of puzzled about that too. Because I think Mighty Hebrew was born in 76. I think she was born in 78.
Let me say something. No one has heard about this for over a year. So this goes to what the sister was saying. She was like, okay, well, you guys been watching Sodnetter for this amount of time, etc. Um, I literally like it's been like maybe about a year and a half, a little more over since I've even known about this stuff. You know, um, like this is it's shocking to me. Like so don't say that. Oh, we support pedophiles and child molesters. Like there is no way in heck. That's why we're doing what we're doing now. Like we literally did not know this. Like it's crazy. And then you have these same people, the polite, the Frankie, the Reggie, yo, and this is weird, bro. The Shaka with the you're dating a woman, you grew up with her daughter, then you end up later dating the daughter, like that's grooming. They all knew about this stuff, and then they get online and try to explain it away. Like it's insane. We didn't know this. And I knew what the sister where she was getting at, but we really did not know about any of this. Like seriously.
Well, the sister has the talking point. I mean, she sounded young, so she's probably a fan of Frankie, and she was trying to come up with that talking point. Some people are convinced with some talking points, but the thing is that I knew from Zanetta from like probably 2007, 2008. It doesn't mean that I watched every single one of its videos. And the sister is back. Feel free, sister.
Okay, hold on.
But in the meantime, doesn't mean that I've seen every single video of his. And besides, for those who knew him from back then, he used to put excerpts from movies. So he would get his accounts deleted on a very regular basis, and he would have to come up with new accounts. So it would take time for people to find out, okay, this is his new account and so on. Now, when they went against SETI, I stopped listening to the dude. because I remember when he uploaded a video with Sarah Sutan's address and government name. And I remember that I and others have spoken out against that. And he made a video and he said that his account was hacked. That's what he said to the people. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he talked about SETI and he said, with your yellow ass, which is, very Willie Lynch like, even though I don't
Hmm.
believe that Willie Lynch existed, because Manuel Pim has written some very nice articles about that, So a lot of people don't know about these things, but I've seen these things going on. So recently, I saw Jabari. And I was like, oh, all right then, even though there's been Hebrews or Lights for more than 2 years on the channel, we have Jabari. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I've been listening with a little bit more attention. But anyway, sister, if you want to speak, feel free.
Oh, no, I'm not a track star, so I heard one of the brothers ask me to come back up, and I have, since I don't operate in any type of malicious intent, that's the only reason why I'm here. And I came back, right? Because again, my intent is not to cause an argument, right? But I definitely have a difference of opinion, regardless of whether or not you agree with it. That's your right to disagree. But if you're saying it's an open panel, have the conversation, that's it. That's all. So I also heard a lot of, as you call it, quote unquote, talking point, Shaka, and the danger of assuming, right? Yet when I jumped down off the panel, not just yourself, but I'm talking directly to you as the host. A lot of assumptions were made, right? You just made another assumption right before I clicked up. You said she sounds young. She's probably young. I mean, just like a lot of reaching, and I think
All
that's
right.
very
So
dangerous.
let's say I was wrong. You're
Very
not young.
dangerous.
Okay. It's dangerous to assume that you were young. Okay. Let's get it.
No,
Okay.
not
So
to say that
what,
I'm
what
young. It's dangerous, right? To sort of like grandstand or attempt to gaslight in any way. And irregardless of whether you felt like it was a monologue, to be quite honest, because I'm looking also at timestamps. Every time that I talked was less than a minute before I was interrupted. So of course you're not going to understand the point, and I apologize if it came across as coming in circles, right? So to make it more succinct. But at the end of when I've been here in your show, there's been other guests talking for a very long time, repeating a lot of the same information, right? But that was okay because it sounded favorable. That's how I feel at this point. So my last, I guess really what I was driving my overall thing was, and I would say this to anyone, that just be careful and do your homework and do your background information so that you know the stage that you're about to perform on, quote unquote, right? That's something my grandmother used to always tell me, right? Know the stage that you are about to perform on, you know? Um, and a lot of the performances, right, that tends to go on at times when people are coming up there on the panel and they're talking their stuff, and then it gets really, really personal and everyone starts arguing. Those are all theatrics, and it is unfortunate, but the theatrics apparently drive a lot of interest, But what I was saying is that from the first time that I've been watching Sinetta up until now, in terms of how he manages and operates his platform, it's the same. That was overall my point, you know? And so that's it. That's all. Anyone had a question? I'm
Yeah, I
listening.
got a question. I got a question
Hey,
for you.
keep asking,
When
but
did
go
you
on.
find out rapists were welcomed on the show?
First of all, that question is very interesting. And that is that I don't even know how to even begin to even do like that there were rapists on the show. Like what? Like
So
how?
you didn't know
Yes,
that?
they're
Wait.
rapists.
Not only have there been, excuse me, not only recently have I
I'm
been
just asking you when. I'm just
yeah,
asking you when
listen,
was the first
I'm getting
time.
ready to
That's
tell you.
all.
Recent,
Just
so,
when
re-
was the first
so
time?
recently, right? When you mentioned, I just finished watching your clip about the Tazariak dude, right? So that's new information to me today, right? In terms of Mighty Hebrew, that has been discussed, that has been brought up time and time and time and time and time again
But
by years
when?
ago
I'm
when he
asking
used
you, not me. I just found out.
years
I'm
ago,
asking you.
years
Okay.
ago
So
when
did you
he
watch it
was
after
reading.
that?
When they had debates that I was interested in, yeah, but it was
Oh,
not consistent. There was not like it's not like a consistent thing. But yeah, depending on who was on, and if I was available to check in to see what they were talking about, then that's how I met. Well, that's how I heard of Shaka, right? And then I came and supported his channel. That's how I heard of a lot of people, and I'll go and I'll support if I like what they're talking about, or just to show support
sister,
because.
are you here for Demon Control?
So,
I
Sister,
I
are you
just
for
want.
Damage Control?
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for answering my question, sister. I appreciate it.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
I just want to say, I was listening to Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, different teachers. That's how I run into Sanetta, you know. So if something pop up on my YouTube from Sanetta because of different stuff that I'm looking at, it all depends on who I see and if it catch my interest that I might look at the show, that specific show. That doesn't mean that I'm always. It might have years that I don't even look at Sanetta. It's just the last few. The only thing I understand what she's saying about he has the same kind of energy, but the narrative has changed for the last 3, maybe 5 years. Shh, I'm on the phone. So you got to understand, before it used to be red, black, and green. You understand me? It used to be about black empowerment. It used to be about the knowledge. But when he got on YouTube, it started to change after time to the point that the front line is not about our history. It's about these religious folks that we was trying to get away from in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? His message, the people that he met on the streets were more powerful than these characters that has nicknames to go with their doctrine to, and it's just a back and forth to the point that it's starting to sink into his skin that he doesn't even care about the how can I say it, the black nation or the black movement anymore. It's all about debates, it's all about money, it's all about keeping the same narrative going about the so-called God. And that's the difference, sister. You got to understand that when people get money, trust me, I know about it because I've been up, I've been down. And the more I up is the more I want. So when people get a taste of money, they want more. And it doesn't matter what the narrative is as long as they're making money. So this is the issue I have with Sanetta. It's not I'm not disrespecting him. I don't know him personally. He don't know me personally, but from the things I've been seeing for the last few years, he has Hebrew, he has Christian, he has Muslims, he have everybody on the front line, except the Kemet people, except the Black Power, Pan-Africanism, and that's the issue. And the people that started with him, a lot of them doesn't even mention him no more because he fell out with the people that he came up with, and it's all about views, it's all about likes, it's all about debates. If it wasn't about money, they wouldn't even have been having no debates, period. They wouldn't have no debates. It's not because if it wasn't for money, they would just bring you the information, they would just have conversations. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's all about your principles and your morals, man. You can't let money determine how you act, how you react to someone. Just like the other day, how we disrespect Neo. I don't know what Neo did. I'm not jumping into the situation, but it just shows he does that to everybody, including Jabari, including Reggie, including Apostle, including he cussed everybody out. But they so worried about somebody seeing them on his channel, views, likes. I don't know. I guess that's appealing to humans. They crave attention, and religious is one of the number one things that cause that. So I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just saying that he has changed a lot, and we could all see it's all about money. Just like Captain Tuzaria, he for years he wasn't on Sanetta platform, but as soon as he see the opportunity to sell his oils and his this and his that, every time you see him, he always selling something. You know, this is the same man that disrespect black people, disrespect Africans, but he's always trying to sell you something just like the white man. It's no difference. So when we gonna open our eyes to separate the real from the fake? And at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. So everybody that worried about likes and views and who been doing it longer and this and that, that's ridiculous, because it's all about what the person stand for. I don't care how long Sanetta has been doing whatever, because he's not the only one. We have teachers on top of teachers. Matter of fact, Sanetta's show is only popular because of all the teachers that come on his show. If it was for him alone, no one would listen, because we crave knowledge, information, and it's different people that bring different knowledge and different experiences. And at the end of the day, I just feel like if he was man enough, he would apologize to Shaka. He would call him. He would have a conversation like a man, because everybody liked Shaka from time he came on his show, because Shaka is a teacher, and you could tell a man's heart by the way he speaks. You understand me? So that's all I want to say. No disrespect to
Everybody.
you, but
No, I'm not. Oh, Wap Funk. I absolutely am not comfortable with knowing that. Um, yeah, I mean, and that's is why, and that's exactly why. And to be quite honest, that's why I don't follow the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, because I don't support polygamy either, right? So typically, things that I don't support, I don't invest in, and I don't put my energy and time into. You know what I mean? So again, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about today, okay, um a lot of the information has been out there. It has been out there for years. People have been banging on them, on them brothers, and brothers was banging on other people that was coming at them. It was really, really crazy in the very beginning of it. And so Sonetta still gets a lot of flack about how he moderates and manages his platform. But at the end of the day, that's how he does it. That's his thing. And the beauty of it all is that we all have a choice. So just like you just said, brother, where if you don't like it, or if you're not interested in the topic, then you don't watch it. However, someone can also see that as support, right? Someone could very easily say, well, how can you then still watch Sinetta, for example, if you know that he is allowing another brother up there who supports you see how it starts kind of like getting weird. And that was my initial point. So I don't have to justify anything to me at all. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
that's
that
not my
at all.
history.
What you
That
do.
which your view, that was not my history. That's not my history at all. I actually don't have that history. I don't have that experience. My experience is that I started watching him years ago, and when I started seeing the first sign of foolishness, I stepped off and haven't watched it in almost a decade.
As you
And
should.
then I know I should. I
Yeah,
know I
that
should. And I always have known that.
yeah.
Now things change in time, and I stumbled across it again, just like I just recently stumbled across Shaka. I recently stumbled across Shaka, and that's actually why I started watching Sonetta. And then immediately the discussion came up about this rapist thing because Shaka was talking about it, and I took a stand. I stopped watching his platform
Mm-hmm.
because that is what I'm not bringing no pedophiles around nobody around me. I'm not bringing no people that raping women anywhere around me in real life, and not in the media, social media world. Okay, that is what I call what a man is supposed to do. And now I don't go back. Now, Sonetter don't have the right to cry about me being an upstanding black man in my community. That's it. It's just that simple. I'm supposed to warn people that that behavior is there. I'm not supposed to accept it at all. So I deserve a clap on the back, and anybody else that has done the same, we deserve a clap on the back too, because we need encouragement to do those good things. We don't deserve to be harmed or talked down to or gaslighted when we do the right thing. You
Mhm.
see, that's all I'm saying. So I'm going to continue to do the
I'm
right
in
thing.
a total agreement, as you should. I'm in total agreement. I completely agree. That's what should happen, and that's the beautiful thing about with social media is that we all it's the information age. We all have choices. We meet different people because we tap into different things, and that's all that we can do. That's the humanity piece to it. That's it, and that's all. I'm gonna drop
And
anyone else down before I drop down because
come again, sister.
No,
What
come
was the
back,
question,
sister.
sister?
Don't come back anytime too.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, sister. Anytime.
Thank you.
Um, now, um, some people are not aware, even though some topics were addressed years ago. Some people just don't know. Some people discovering. I was on Chris MVP Harris a few days ago, and people didn't even know. Somebody said, "Oh, show the paperwork," and I happened to show the paperwork, which was shared to us by our brother Jeheru, who's on the panel right now. And then the tone changed because they were like, "Oh man, that's he said, she said," and stuff like that. And that's what they're trying to say. And for those who don't know, yesterday I played a longer intro, and it had several instances where Sanetta himself was talking about other child molesters. And I had the impression that he was against it. You know, he talked about Nasi being a pedophile. He talked about Mighty Hebrew going to jail for that. He said that Hebrews are covering for Hebrews. When I asked him which other organizations besides GMS teaches that, he said there are many who's doing that. So I was like, okay, but then all of a sudden, during the weighing, that thing happened. And you see, I want to address what Nutri for Wellness wrote. Hold on. She wrote, I mean, she or he, I don't even know if it's but Nutri for Wellness wrote, Shaka, you did well the first time on Sanetta. You didn't do well on the way in. How can I do well when I go against Zaryak and Sanetta at the same time? I don't think anybody can show me Sanetta being so biased, so unprofessional, and so non-neutral during a conversation with two people opposing sides or opposing views. He simply did that to seek revenge because he didn't like what Chin Chin said, and he has stated that before. And if people don't even peep game on that, I think it's sad. This is exactly what happened. He didn't like what Ching Ching said. He probably got some phone calls from some Hebrews were lights, and maybe at the NOA as well, because I tried to play Farrakhan's speech, which is only 3 minutes long. He would not even let it go for 3 minutes. And then and maybe he was pressed also about Trackfield because Trackfield has some way. I don't know if it's the OnlyFans ladies that he sends. I don't know if it's money that he gives, but I mean, we've seen what Reggie turned to after he was associated with Trackfield. Traffic has that gift that everything he touches becomes curse. You know what I'm saying? The Dagger Squad is dead because of Trackfield. If it wasn't for Trackfield, it probably would have survived. You know what I'm saying?
Who you
But
talking?
anyway,
Whose name is that? Who is
besides
that?
this,
Garfield.
oh,
Oh, oh,
Trackfield
oh.
is my nickname for Garfield Reed. Yes, yes. Because Garfield Reed is not his real name. It's just a social media name.
Right.
Um, he has sent an invoice of $1,800 to show his degree, which is a proof in itself that his degree is inexistent. He's just lying on it. Sanetta's protecting him on that. Reggie's protecting him on that. Brother Onk's protecting him on that.
Hmm.
But that being said,
Hmm.
Sanetta greets by saying peace and black power. But Tazariak said that ICPK celebrate the death of Africans. They're celebrating
Mhm.
the death of black folks. Besides saying that Martin Luther King ain't and that he used the B word towards Martin Luther King, they are actually celebrating the death of Africans. And it seems like people didn't hear that. Seems like people don't care. But at
No,
some
I
point,
don't.
I'm like, man, so you're gonna have
Yeah.
convicted,
No, I don't think so. I don't know. You know what,
you
Shaka?
don't care.
Honestly, like I don't know. I don't think. Here's the thing. There is something to it where again, going back to my initial point about just reading the room and knowing the stage, that you're getting ready to get on, so to speak. Because much of what it's not that people didn't know about it or I don't want to speak for anybody else, but like in terms of me, for myself, um, can you give me 1 second? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Yes, feel free, sister. Now, in the
Yeah,
meantime, you see, Neutral for
Shock.
Awareness wrote, brother, hold on, brother, you couldn't answer to Zarya questions. That's what I mean. Zaryak didn't answer my questions. The Zaryak started off saying that Ma'at is a bird. That's pseudo hey. He started off saying that the Bible is his foundation and that he has attestation for Moses and Mary in the hieroglyphic. I told him to show and prove that. I showed him to show us the book that he mentioned. Chris MVP Harris even said that that book doesn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? But double check with him. Maybe I'm misquoting him, Chris MVP Harris. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the whole world, I never in my life heard that we have attestation for Moses and Miriam in the hieroglyphic. So he lied about that, just like he lied about his friend, this child molester friend, you know. And
Yeah,
he also lied on the Bible about Sarah and Abraham, you know. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
yeah. I just want to say they trying to change the narrative in the chat, Shaka. That's all they trying to do, because at the end of the day, uh, Capolat, he don't have nothing to stand on. I mean, while you was on the show, Sonetta was texting him, and you could see when he said, "Yeah, I got the text," and they were laughing about it. You understood? It was a scam from the beginning. He never wanted to debate you because he knows who not to stand against. The only reason he is taking this debate with Chris is because they need money. He needs money. He's not on Clubhouse anymore. You see what's going on? So even if he know he's gonna lose because he
And
have nothing to
he
stand
got
on.
punked by WAC 100, just like Saneda got punked. But yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
and they both
he's not
Saneda and
saying nothing
Tazarian got
about
punked
Whack
by
100. He's not
WAC
saying
100,
nothing.
so they're trying to look good. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think
That's my point. Like that's just to show you how weak they are. Because how can you go against a man that never even said nothing negative about you, but Whack 100 is calling you all kind of names out the book. But you haven't said anything. You are not slandering his name because you scared. You know what I'm saying? That's just to show you these men are not real men. And they at the end of the day, I understand where the sister is coming from, but you gotta understand it's all about morals and principles and what you stand on. So if that you say that's how we've been running his platform, then whoever that been subscribed to his platform for how many years should be ashamed, because at
Oh,
the end of the day, we are not moving forward. We are just going back and forth with the same discussions, and the people that's benefiting from it is only the people that you see on the panel.
sorry
yeah,
about
I
that.
think
Yeah,
And
uh, sorry about that. Go
he
ahead.
hold on, sister. Just before you go, sister, Nutri for Awareness wrote to Zaryak definitely lied, but if you don't expose the lie, then how will the audience know? Now it's my fault that I don't expose the lie when I can barely speak and I'm against two people. And I asked him clearly several times, do you want to debate? Yes or no? He didn't want to debate. He ran from the debate. So don't blame me for another man lying. I mean, try to be fair, Nutri for Wellness. You know what I'm saying? But sister, go ahead, feel free.
Yeah, I apologize. Somebody was banging on my back door, y'all. I'm like, what in the world? But Shaka, back to I think what I was saying when you were mentioning about feeling as though like, I guess people don't care, It's not, I was saying that it's not that people don't care. I know that's in my opinion, I think that's the furthest thing from the truth. This has been out for a very long time and it got very aggressive at one point. There was a lot of static, right? There's a lot of cultural nuances and relationships that have formed with the people that have like going on as debaters or people who are subscribers. And so there's like a lot of things
Well,
that's
sister, hold on.
important for
I was
someone
talking about celebrating the death of Africans. Have you heard that before?
that the what?
Have you
Say it
heard
again?
before that have you heard before that ISUPK celebrate the death of Africans?
I saw the video. I heard of a video that Azariah did, I think, in saying something about an African child. I do
Yeah,
believe I heard that.
he
That's
said he would
correct.
not feed the child, and I've seen that video. But when the Wayne, he confirmed that they celebrate the death of Africans. So if people knew from that, I
Mhm.
don't know. Did you know about that, sister?
Yeah, I've heard about that, but I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. So what does
I'm
that?
not a
I mean,
Hebrew. I'm not a
I don't
Hebrew
follow
Israelite
that.
either.
And
I'm
I
not
don't
a
agree.
Hebrew
I
Israelite.
disagree 1000%.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
and so do
1000%.
I, and so do
Yeah.
I, so do I. And you see, when your hero was talking about standing on principles, you know, um, Sanetta has a channel, which is supposedly a Pan African channel or Black Power channel, and he claims to be for Kemet. He even said that he is African. You know,
Mhm.
Tazarek said, "You Dominican." He said, "I'm African Dominican." You know what I'm saying? So you will never see a Hebrew Israelite that's going to invite somebody that's going to say he celebrates the death of Hebrew Israelites. You can change
Mhm.
Hebrew Israelite with Christians. You will never see a Christian that's going to invite somebody that said, let's celebrate the death of Christians. But here we have this Black Power dude who claims to follow in the footsteps of Khalid Abdul Muhammad. He's going to have a guy who confirmed that he celebrates the death of Africans. Like it's no problem. Now he has a right to his stance. It's fine. Now I know where he stands. I'm like, okay, fine, do your thing. But now lately they're apparently, from what I heard, they calling me Frenchie. They're saying, I mean, he sent me some message, use a whole lot of profanity. He didn't use that for
Mm.
towards work. But now they're trying to focus on my geographic location, almost acting like I'm some sort of agent. But it's okay. But the thing is that just like they have the right to talk about anything they want, and just like they have the right to invite convicted child molesters who focus on the age difference rather than the rape charge, we have the right also to highlight the fact that they have people who have anti-black teaching, anti-African teaching. You know what I'm saying? And the child molestation thing, they can say anything they want. It's a burden on them. They look real, real, real bad with that. And they can try to, find a way around it with some talking points, but it's never going to work because this is unheard of. You don't see that in any other community. You don't see that among Chinese people, Arab people, Latino people, Caucasian people, whether it's the Europeans or the people in America or even Australia. You never see people trying to make excuses for child molest. So
Oh, that's
now
not true,
they are.
Shaka. I disagree with that. That's
Oh,
I
can you
think
give me?
that's a lot. That's
Can you give me
assumption.
some
That's
examples
a
of
huge
other community? I'm sorry, you disagree with that? What do you mean? You
the
you
last
disagree
part.
with what I'm
That
saying?
you were saying you don't
Okay.
see other groups, the Chinese, the Arabs, the this and the that. I think that's a huge assumption to make.
Oh, okay. So please give me some
Because
examples
I
of
know,
Chinese and Arabs defending child molesters. I'm listening.
yeah, for sure. Um, I even know I grew up with two families in my building that one was Yemeni from Yemen, and the other one I think was either like from Saudi Arabia or one of the Middle Eastern oil countries or whatever. And I do know that the out of one of the families, the husband practiced polygamy or whatever because it was something, I guess it was religious, right? He followed that. But the daughter, he married his daughter at the age of I think 15, right? And that's not the first time that I've heard stories like that where there's marriages and that there's young girls who are not ready being
So
married.
you mentioned you're talking about marriage. I thought you were going to give examples of child molesters being defended by Arab or Chinese community.
Right. So I'm responding to your very general statement when you were saying that you don't see other groups of people
Marriage is not the same as child
getting by.
molesting,
And I'm
sister.
saying it's
I
cultural.
hope you understand the difference.
A lot. What? That's still rape.
Ma-
If you're a minor is a minor is a minor. Last time I checked, I don't care
well,
if the girl is
it's in
13,
the West. In the
14,
West, they
15,
have those
16.
laws. But in Yemen, like you mentioned, in Yemen, there have, and not that I agree with that, but
Right.
some girls as young as 8-year-old, 9-year-old were
Yeah.
married off to others. Some of them
Yeah.
died. But in their
Absolutely.
countries, it is not illegal. It's a marriage, it's not child molestation. So once again, I don't know of any other community where
No,
they
that is
defend child molesters.
yeah.
And when
No,
I
I
say child
that's
molesters,
child
young people.
molestation. In my opinion, that's child molestation. Especially if a girl is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and she's being married through an arranged marriage or however it works to an older man, in my opinion, that's still rape and that's still child molestation, cultural or not. That's still wrong across the board. That's what I assumed it to be. It shouldn't. I don't see how it's a difference at all.
Yeah,
Can I say
I
something?
agree with the sister, but the one thing I want to say, don't matter where you from or what background you came from, Nine out of ten is always some religious background. They are always into something religious, which cause them to take the actions that they do. That's all I want to say.
Hmm.
Um, I wanted to say this thing about this the idea of the weigh in and the debate. Um, I think the conflict that that I'm having with it, um, and I think Shaka's having with it, and I think the sister also expressed this too, is that the standard it's way, way, way below the academic standard. And I think that's the troubling part because we're kind of introducing our community to low standards and it doesn't function well that way. You get far less out of it, you know, and I think that's the problem there with that. So when you bring a person like Shaka in, he cannot work. That's just, he can't lose because the standard is so low that everything is wrong, right? The only thing you could do is entertain by saying something even more grotesque and they will allow that because it gets them ratings, right? So I think underline it's a mistake to call it a debate, and it's a mistake to think that it's set up to be anything serious about information, right? And I think Shaka is just too serious about it, and I think some of us are too serious about the things we do, right? We're serious about the topic, and if you let's be honest, I could go in there and play a lot of the games that they would do, that they do, but I would have to speak the same disrespectful language to win. I would have to behave in a disrespectful way to be seen as equal or valid. And I think that's the serious problem and danger with it, you know. But I agree with the sister on this thing about the molestation. People defend it in their own way, but I think the real question is, what are we going to do with it in our community? It's not a matter of other people. It's a matter of, are we going to confront this problem that we have in our community or are we not? And if we're not, then that's the standard that we're going to move forward on. That's going to be the standard for our little girls, our little boys that we're raising, and the entire community. And we're going to carry that behavior with us to work, to the schools, to the church, out on the street. So when you see a guy grabbing your ass, don't be mad because it's defended as normal. And we're not going to do nothing about it. When we see guys raping women openly, don't cry about it because we had a chance to defend it and say we shouldn't promote this, and we didn't. When we see our little girls getting raped or our little boys getting raped, stop complaining about it because you have a chance to defend it and we just won't defend it. I mean, we just won't get rid of it. We won't condemn it. And I think it's really telling about our community again. I could care less about other people. I'm not there to see other people. I'm there to see and talk to my people. I think it's really telling that it's so difficult for us to just understand that and how we just don't have to make room for it at all.
I would say this here. Nutri for Wellness is saying, hold on. Yeah. Shaka need to watch Wayne again. Shaka did great versus Yara Napa and the others that challenged him the first time. Now, this was not Wayne. I was just a guess. Now, if you don't see that Saneda was completely non-neutral, if you consider that Tazariak did well by saying that Martin Luther King was a bitch, then more power to you. If you feel like Tazariak did well by lying about an attestation of Moses and Miriam in the hieroglyphic, which was one of the most pseudo-claim ever said since this new 2023 year, then more power to you. If you feel like Tazariak did well by saying that Puerto Ricans are black people, therefore Ricky Martin is black, and Israelite. And if some of you think that Taino people are black as well, then more power to you. You know, you just been bamboozled, and welcome to the club. So here we have Sister Freedom who wrote what's going on over here. Well, over here, we're speaking out against convicted rapists like Mighty Hebrew. We've shown the paperwork. I heard people talking about the age difference, but on the criminal record or rap sheet, we have rape on top of statutory rape. Statutory rape is usually by default as long as somebody has sexual relation or intercourse with a minor. But rape is not the case. And we've seen Tazariak on tape admitted that he supported his ISUPK brother who was convicted for child molestation. The irony is that for both guys, it is said that they slept with their wife's daughter or partner's daughter. It's the same thing that was said about Nasi, but Nasi did the Garfield Reed move, running. Feel free to add on. And Sunchild, you haven't said anything. If you want to, feel free.
Thank you, Shaka. Let me first ask if you are in agreement with the young lady and the gentleman who just said that there's a difference between rape and molestation if you are legally married to someone who we consider underage today. Do you agree with that? That being married to someone who is, say, between 12 and 15 or so, that is also a problem with that?
I didn't say. Are you talking about me?
No, I'm asking Shaka if he agrees with that.
Okay.
Now, no, I don't agree, but in some countries it is legal. So rape of a child or child molestation is not the same as getting married. In some countries, they do have marriage with minors. That's what they do, you know. And the reason why this was addressed is because I was saying that we don't see communities defending child molesters. So far, I only see that on the HOK, you know. But what I propose to do, because my internet connection is not great. So yeah, I'm gonna let Sister Freedom go, and I'm gonna put the other participant of the channel. So I think the connection will be better. But feel free to come back. Okay, I've shared the link to get on the panel. All right. So
well, if I can be allowed to finish.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, Shaka. Yeah, it has to do with the Hebrew Israelites that you show, saying that they would marry when in the kingdom, that they would marry at 12, at the point where a young woman meets her flower or gets her puberty. And they do mention that it would be a marriage, so it would be illegal for them. So in that case, we wouldn't consider that rape or molestation. Now,
No, brother, no. I don't think you've seen the video, because they talked about the Bible where it says that if you snatch a woman, if you force her, and the GMS elder clearly say "aina," which means to force, which means rape. So if you catch a woman in the field, like he says in the Bible, and I think it's that's Deuteronomy, but I don't remember the exact passage, but we went through that. If you snatch a woman in the field, you force her, then basically you just have to pay 50 shekels if you are caught. If you're not caught, you're good. So if you call that marriage, I disagree. I call that rape. But feel free.
Okay. Now I wouldn't call it research. I don't think I've done enough to call it research, but just a little bit of studying on marriage in ancient Egypt. I've learned some interesting things. More interesting things I've learned is that they were generally monogamous, and that they did marry for love most of the times, and not prearranged, and that women held were generally held equally in marriage. But the more surprising thing I've learned, I'm not sure if there's a primary source or if you have any other source regarding that, is that it wasn't uncommon to be married at 12, and for women, and that the average age of marriage for women was 14. I have a few. I'm sorry.
And the men are normally over 30. 50.
Well, the men, Yeah, the men, it says average age given for the men is 16 to 20 for marriage, and the women would the average age
I
for
think
women
some
is
butler,
14.
I think some butler went to work, but I would like to see the primary source, just like you said, Sunshine. So whenever you have it, feel free, and we talk about that.
Well, that's just it. I don't have a primary source, but it seems to be a historical consensus, if I can
But
use
no,
that word.
it seems to be an allegation, but maybe it's a fact. So when we have the primary source, then we're going to deal with that, you know, because it sounds to
Fair
me
enough.
like a
Thank
butler
you.
went to work and he wants to use Kemet again to justify convicted child molesters, you know. And I would say, good try, Butler. Not you, Brother Sunshine. I'm talking about the butler. I think it comes from him. But yeah, thank you very much, Sunshine. Now, Sister Freedom, feel
Thank
free to
you.
speak.
Okay. I thought I heard allegations about Sarnetta, which no one can prove that. No one has no pictures, or he's never been accused about child molestation. I don't know where that came up. And it's already been proven that the Mighty Hebrew was falsely accused of child molestation or rape or whatever it's being said over here. I don't think it's right that these allegations are being made about people that are not true. If anything, Sarnetta always
Sister,
exposed. Wait a minute, let me
sister,
finish.
sister,
Let me
please
finish.
hold on.
Okay,
No,
go
no,
right
I
ahead.
don't want to be too long, so we lose the point. With Sanetta, I don't think anybody made any allegations against him.
Okay, because he
Now, with
always
the Mighty Hebrew,
exposed.
you're saying that he was falsely accused.
Okay, and Sarnetta
I'm
always
sorry.
exposes. And Sarnetta always exposes. Let me turn my camera on so you can see me. Sarnetta always exposes any
Mm.
time child molestation or any form of rape or anything allegations have been said about anybody. He's the main one that comes on his channel and exposes people. So anything that's being said about him,
Well, sister,
is
sister,
incorrect.
please have a look at this then.
Are you accused of molesting your wife's niece, who is your niece through marriage?
I have no recollection of that. You would have to inform me of what you're talking about. I have no recollection of that.
Okay, I will be able to one day. So I have my third question. Captain Cesario, do you have a homie that's in prison right now for child molestation that you support financially?
Yes.
But I thought you were against child molestation and those that are molesters to children.
I am against child molestation and those that molest children.
So why are you supporting this person, but you speak ill against others that have a love for people that have been just accused of child molestation?
Okay, I'll answer your question very easily. When I was at both cases of both trials, the evidence that they had, they gave the brother a lie detector test, which he passed. They tested the sister for the young girl, rather, whether her hymen was broke because he was accused of molesting her. Her hymen was not broke. A hymen, for those that don't know, a hymen is something that they use to test to see if the woman's or the child's virginity has been broken or anything like that. There was information that she said that she gave, which she then retracted. So the first case that they did was thrown out. The second case, they did not want to answer to. The jury was hung on it, and the judge did not want to release them until they came up with an answer, and then they came up with a guilty verdict. So from observing the case, if he was guilty of the crime, I would in no way support the brother. But from the evidence of the case, from the testimonies of him as well as the individuals involved, he was not guilty, even though he was found guilty.
Wow, so he was not guilty even though he was found guilty, but you speak ill against someone else that is not guilty, but they say he was guilty. So I have a question. This brother that you support, does he have children?
Yes.
And if so, do you ever say to those children, you have a father that's a child molester?
No, I don't.
Well, why do you do that to others that have a love for Dr. Malachi Z. York ill and you want his children of him being a quote-unquote so-called child molester and you speak for supporting him?
So, Sister Freedom, you've heard Sanada. You've heard Sanada speaking out against ISUPK with a convicted child molester, have you?
Wait a minute. Let me say this. What is it? First of all, let me make sure I got this right. What do you have against Sarnetta? Because it almost sounds like you pushing him into something that's not even Sarnetta's channel. That's ISUPK's channel. And you heard, and let me ask you a question. If your brother or somebody you was close to was
Well,
accused,
this, I've asked you a question
if your
though,
brother or
because
somebody was
you hold on, sister,
molestation,
you said he's speaking out against child molesters. I just played you the Zariak admitting on tape that he
okay,
supports is a SUPK member,
but
even though he
okay,
was convicted. Have you heard Sanetta speaking out against that?
I've heard Sarnetta speak out against a lot of child molesters, but wait a minute. You
No,
heard
that's
what
not my
you wait a
question,
minute.
sister.
Let me
Because
say
obviously
what you
you
heard what
I'm not gonna
Cesario
say you
said.
lied, but you said something that was not totally accurate, and that's
Wait a
fine,
minute. I don't know what's going on here. Like I said, I don't know what's going on because I believe that black people are their own worst enemy. Okay. What I'm saying to you,
Sister,
heard
you
Cesar.
just came
Wait a
on
minute.
saying
Let
that
me ask you a question.
you just came on saying that
What is it
Sanetta
about
speaks
Sarnetta?
out.
That was Cesariak. What does that got to do with Sarnetta?
That is Tazariak. That is the
What
one of
is
the guy. That's
what
okay.
does Cesar?
Wait
Wait a minute.
you're not gonna
Let
let me
me
speak
ask
then.
you. Never asked my question though, Shaka. You not let me ask the
You didn't
question.
answer my question. My question is, did you hear Sanetta speak out against that?
Yes, I hear Sarnetta speak out a lot about a lot of people who were
Okay.
accused allegedly. But let me say this. Can I ask you this? Just a personal question. Do you have any
Sister,
brothers and
you're not being
sisters?
100, but it's okay. I'm not gonna
Do
force you
you
to
have
answer
any brothers
anything.
and
So go ahead.
sisters, Shaka? And just answer the
I
question.
do.
Because I'm going to tell you
I do.
right now, if my brother was accused of something and I really didn't believe that he was against, because I see what the lady was about. She was talking to him about Malachi York. Okay. And she was doing a comparing with that. But I'm asking you, if your brother was in jail
She was talking about the
for any
ISUPK
crime,
member who was convicted for child molestation. That's what she was talking
convicted,
about.
but there's a lot of black people in jail being convicted and didn't do the crime. And we both
All right.
know that too.
All right.
We
All right.
both know that.
So
We don't know that. We don't
basically,
put it in the wrong stream, but I'm
everybody's innocent. Nobody did anything. All the judges are corrupt. You know what I'm saying?
okay, and it happens. Yes,
And yeah, it
yes.
happens. Okay, what is
How
it's
many
that
of our
okay?
black
So
brothers are in jail for things they did not do, was convicted,
Sister
and they
Freedom,
was in jail for things that they did not
my
do?
elder sister,
Who
with
are
all due
those
respect,
people?
you are naive.
No, you are
You are
naive.
naive.
You
You
are
are.
naive. Well, are you
Because
American?
okay, let's
Are you
oh
American?
now you wanna play. I am
Are
not
you
American,
American?
so I
Because
cannot speak on it, right?
I'm saying I'm asking you that question because I'm trying to
I am
figure
not
out what you
American.
don't know what's going on over here. It's a lot of our black brothers
I
that have been convicted of crimes that they did not commit.
all right,
Okay, but the
okay.
lady was coming
And
home and she was getting on him about things he said about Malachi Z. York, and she was doing a comparison. But if I believe
sister,
that my brother
I
and
know
everybody
exactly
who
what she
hear me
said.
saying
I
it,
heard.
if I believe that my brother didn't do something, evidence came back that he did, there was no semen, this, that, and another, I'm going to take care of my brother too. Okay? Because girls lie on men. Let's
You
not act
know,
like
sister,
they don't.
all it takes is a shower. All it takes is a shower for the semen to disappear. You're making excuses for it,
What?
and you have the
But
right to.
I'm a
But
woman.
let's talk about
It
Mikey
might take
Hebrew.
not inside of
Let's
us,
talk.
though. Not inside of us. And you can tell if we have been raped.
But sister, rape and
What
child
is this
molestation is not the
though?
same thing.
What? But can I
Rape
ask you,
and child
Shaka,
molestation.
why is your
Okay.
channel being based on
Or
gossip? Why is your channel being
gossip.
based on gossip?
Oh. Sister, you've seen the Zariak on tape admitting that he
Oh my God.
supports the ISUPK member who was convicted of child molestation. And you call
But
that
that
gossip,
doesn't mean
sister?
that. How many black men have been to
All right,
jail?
you know what? Hey, brothers, go ahead, man. I don't think it's gonna work with me because
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
from
yeah.
America, so I
I
guess
want
it's
to
not gonna
say
work.
something. I want to say something because, I mean, Sister Freedom, I like to see you when you speak on other panels, Senator, and all
Thank
of that.
you.
But
Thank you.
I mean, like you came in a little too strong and emotional. I understand that you might, nobody never said Sanetta was a child molester. Nobody never
No,
said that.
but even to be a part of it, to say, "Oh, look, that's what Sarnetta does." He
No,
allows.
no, you got to understand. Listen, let me speak for a minute, please.
I don't care what somebody say about me, really.
This is the problem that, well,
No, I'm not
Shaka.
talking about you. I'm talking about I read something in the thing.
Oh
That's all.
yeah, I don't pay attention to that. But I'm
Trap
just
is
saying,
here.
we are not you gotta understand that Sanetta is the one that really started all this confusion
How?
because he was mad at Shaka because Chingy came on Shaka platform and talk about certain things in the past that even Sanetta speaks on, like you just said. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So Shaka didn't really do anything wrong, and I understand why Sanetta is mad because that's something that Chingy do. It look like that's what he does. But you can't be mad about what somebody else do on Shaka platform because everybody do it
I
on
didn't
your
say I was mad.
platform.
I didn't
Ev-
say I was mad at all. I just said
no,
that
no, I'm not talking about
black
you,
men
sis.
here get
I'm
a.
talking about, hold on. Let me just finish. I just said you came in a little bit too emotional. You know what I'm saying?
I got
Because
things on my mind too, but that don't got nothing to do with it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
we all do. But I'm saying it,
Uh-huh.
Sonetta is the one that got mad at Shaka because of what Chingy said. But people on Sonetta platform does that all the time. They talk about each other all the time. It's
Not
always
do
some
it now.
gossip. So if Shaka is doing it, they all do it.
Right,
You
but
understand?
okay, let me ask you something. Did you hear Mighty Hebrew was not everything that happened with that situation? Did you
Yeah.
hear? Okay.
Okay, because let me just finish. Like I have you bring that up because I understand that he was 17, she was 15. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against Mighty Hebrew because everybody have different experiences, go to different situations. But as far as the rape situation, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge. I only go to it to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a problem with Mighty Hebrew, but it's not Mighty Hebrew. It's a lot of different people that's on Sanetta platform who speak with a lot of ignorance. And
Mm.
they follow these
Your
doctrine,
opinion.
they follow these doctrines that cause them to act that way, and they feel like they have a right to do that. And there are a lot of girls that's being taken advantage of from middle school to high
Absolutely.
school by grown men, 30 years old and up. And you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? It doesn't matter if you're from America, the Caribbean, France. In certain countries, it's even worse. So I mean, I'm a single father with a 7-year-old daughter. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel a way about it. So and the thing about it is, like I said, Shaka did not. We didn't. Shaka. I don't think Shaka wanted to go this far. If Sanada would have just called him and speak to him like a man about the
Like a man. See,
situation.
but see, it's shots like that that are irritating. First of all, but what I'm not saying, I'm not here to take up for just what you think like I'm here to take for Sinetta. What pissed me off is that the fact of Mighty Hebrew name being brung up again after that's already been settled. And here I am again hearing another black man bringing it up again. And then the people that he's bringing up is comes on HOK. So that's why I'm
But
saying, so if you didn't see
hold
Sinetta
on,
get accused
sister.
of
What
something,
is being settled?
what do you
Hold
mean?
on.
What is being settled, Sister Freedom? This is a rap sheet here. The first thing we have is rape, guilty. Then we have involuntary, deviant
Oh my
sexual
God.
intercourse, guilty.
Let me see if
Then
I
we
can.
have, oh my God, maybe you can say that. But then he
Yes,
says
these the
aggravated
So you
charges.
indecent
say
assault, guilty.
even though they found him
Then
not
hold on,
that he
sister.
didn't do it, you still gonna say it?
I just want to say. Then he says statutory rape, guilty. Indecent assault, guilty. Corrupting minor, guilty. Now you said he was falsely
And
accused.
yes, he
Does he have
was.
any paperwork that shows? Does he have
Yes,
any
yes.
paperwork that shows he was
Yes,
faulty?
did you
Okay.
see the whole show the other day?
Well,
Did you
sister,
see the whole
please,
show?
please. I've stopped
Oh my
watching the House of
God.
Rapists a long time ago.
Well, I
But
mean, that could be
please show
hearsay,
the paperwork. I've shown you the paperwork where he says that he was guilty of rape. Now he can claim that he was falsely accused. If that's the case, he should have some paperwork that says that he was
Yes,
exonerated.
but I'm
Well,
asking you, did you
please.
see this? Okay.
No,
So once
sister,
you
I
see the
did not
papers,
see
you're
it.
gonna stop
I did
doing this,
not
right?
watch it.
Shaka, you gonna stop doing it once you see the papers?
I cannot predict the future, but please show us the
Okay,
documents
I'll make sure
because
that,
I
that
heard something without any
and I'm
stamp,
sorry that
without
I
any
was
seal.
on mean, but I'm just saying, I'm like, the man did it on my show. He talked about it on my show. He talked about it on Sinetta's
Sister,
show. Papers was shown
I
though,
just
and
want
you still
to see the
talk about it.
paperwork
What papers? What
because
papers he
most people
showed?
said that they are not guilty.
They didn't show no
I don't
paper.
know.
The man was guilty of it. You said, right? Hey, peace, shock. A peace to the panel. The man is guilty. They trying to flip the script over there, man. I respect the sister, but not over Sonetta. He know what he does. We know about Sonetta. He got Mighty Hebrew was convicted of rape. Polite is going to court with 6 semen stains on a 14-year-old girl, and people out here trying to blame a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room at night. Our people are sick out here, brother. Like it is a shame to me that people is willing to do something just to be on a YouTube page and to be in front of people instead of standing on morals and principles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy out here, man. And trying to flip this and flip that. You see the paper right here. Guilty. What did y'all time? Then y'all trying to flip it like Shaka said, talking about 2 years apart. Even if you mess with a girl 2 years apart, what are you doing with a rape conviction? It's common sense. Why everybody trying to use this knowledge against people? Because they think they so smart. Oh, no, did you read this? No, plain and simple, bro. Like y'all dudes, I see why some of these dudes couldn't make it in the streets and make it nowhere because they trying to flip-flop everything and stick to this and stick to that. Come on, man. It's plain and simple. These dudes are sick. They scammers. They don't care about nobody trying to rip people off. And we standing on it. Shaka not taking down nothing. He know he said it out his own mouth.
Listen,
not to play with Sonetta said.
Are you gonna let me say something? Or are you gonna keep saying something? You gonna let me defend myself?
I mean, this ain't for you, sweetheart. We ain't saying nothing accused to you.
It could be for me. Believe me, I can hold my own. It could be for me. What I'm saying to you is there many men in jail convicted of statutory rape and rape or even killing or anything and didn't do it?
Yes, but we're not talking about those men.
And if you had their rap sheet, is it going to say guilty? I'm asking you, if you had those, what was the name of that? Them boys that went to jail for rape. I can't even call their names right now. And all of them stayed in jail all the time. Even after the white women, even after you keep talking over me. That's why it seemed like I'm yelling. Even after the white women came back and said they didn't.
But sister, you're saying you're saying he was wrongly. You're saying he was wrongly. Okay, so can you show us that documentation that says he was exonerated?
Because I'm not with this
all right,
man.
so
like,
sister, you're welcome anytime. I think I will live stream tomorrow. You know, that give you enough time to call Mighty Hebrew, and he can fax it. He can email it to you. But the funny thing is that, and then we're gonna come with some clarity. So tomorrow, hopefully, the sister will show us that document that nobody else has seen, just like God feels the degree.
Like I live with the man where he's showing me.
Oh, come on, no. I want to see the paperwork, sister. You're speaking up for him.
Don't talk silly, Shaka. I don't live with the man. I'm in Delaware. He's in Africa. All I can do is ask
him. Sister, is in Africa. An email takes a couple of seconds to get through. You know.
Okay, I'll see if he can, and I'll see if I can.
All right. Well, I'm sure he can. You know, because he's telling everybody that he was exonerated. So obviously he has some paperwork with a seal or a stamp on it that says he was exonerated. So
okay, and it was
feel free to our own brothers and sisters.
You asked also about other Arabs and all that. They're the worst kind. Even the Prophet Muhammad married a 6-year-old and had sex with her at 9. So yes, other places do that. But my main thing was he was showing different things. And yes, people do go to court for things and get convicted of things that they did not do. That's my main thing that I'm saying. And you know,
I agree with you, sister. I agree.
Like, all of them brothers is over there on Sonetta's channel. It could be brothers on your channel that you don't know did it either, just didn't come up yet. Because you was over there, wasn't you, Shaka?
Well, sister.
Okay. Yeah, but he didn't know that.
Stop playing. Everybody goes on, and all these people that's talking go on Sonetta's channel and the chat and all that too.
So hold on. Not everybody, because at the end of the day, you gotta understand, not everybody follows Sonetta or subscribe to her.
You know, the brother Mighty Hebrew, if I'm not mistaken, Garfield said that he was you know, the brother Mighty Hebrew, if I'm not mistaken, Garfield said that he was there was some sexual misconduct.
Nah, we don't want to talk about that.
I'm just saying what was right. I was on there as a guest, and I tried to talk about it. I tried to talk about it. Sanada didn't want to talk about it. Fine, I left it I left it there. This talking point is the same talking point that I've been hearing for a few weeks.
So why do you want to talk about it?
Come,
Why do you
come
want to
again?
talk about it? Why do you want to talk about it?
Why?
Yeah,
I don't have a right to talk about it. Okay, why? Because Garfield Reed talked about
even
this.
if it was true when he did his time or whatever the situation may be,
Hold on.
why do you want to
Okay,
talk about it?
Hold on. This is why I wanted to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've been a part of this conscious community, sexual misconduct has been condemned and vilified almost unanimously. We saw the rise and fall of Dr. York. We had Hebrew Israelite, the brother by the name of Mighty Hebrew. He was convicted, I think, twice for sexual behavior against minors. He was widely condemned by the Hebrew Israelite community, but apparently forgiven by the Israelites, because I see him all over the place right now on everybody's channel. Another brother by the name of Nazi Yashavel, another Israelite, also involved in sexual misconduct with a minor. We have no idea where this brother is, but he's been sheltered somewhere by an Israelite group.
And sister, I would like you to see the comment left by Storm.
He found
Storm,
out just like
hold on, please. Storm wrote, the brother did not show any papers saying the rape charges were dismissed or overturned. Now, Mighty Hebrew talked about his case a while back. Saneda apparently recently played part of it, and then they talked about other stuff. But here is Saneda just a few weeks ago.
We have those guys who've been convicted for sexual misconduct. Garfield Reed spoke about this. Yourself, you spoke about Nazi. And Garfield Reed said that Hebrew camps are sheltering Nazi. So, and it's sensitive because I know he's your friend, but Mighty Hebrew, several people have said that he was convicted for sexual misconduct, that he went to jail for that. So how are you gonna?
He did.
Well, oh well, okay, well, so you're confirming it, so why
everybody know that he went to jail for that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously,
but Hebrews cover up for Hebrews. That's what they do.
All right.
You see, sister. So this is allegedly 15 years ago. I don't know how long ago. But just hold on, please, sister. Please let me just finish. I promise I will let you speak right after me. If he was exonerated, how come just a few weeks ago Saneda didn't know and didn't say it? Feel free to speak, Sister Freedom.
Bear with me a moment, please.
All right. Well, brothers and sisters, feel free to add on. I'm muting myself.
Yeah, I just want to say she making it all about Mighty Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand it's more than one. Even Captain Tazaria, Kapala, said that he has no recollection when the woman was asking him about his own sexual abuse accusations. Like, what man would get asked that questions and said he has no knowledge or no recollections? Anybody asks me that, I'll be like, no, because it's nothing to think about. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just Mighty Hebrew. It's a lot of these guys that have backgrounds or have friends that has these pedophile situations, and they on the front line. They on his platform more than anybody else. So it's making it seems like he doesn't care about dignity or what he stands on as long as it comes to his money. These same guys that he has on his platform, they don't even like each other. Like Chingy said, they always cussing each other, calling and the worst name of the book, even disrespecting each other's mother. So you got to understand, it's nothing about Hebrew Saneda. It's Saneda is what he stands on. So the brother is wrong about how he came at Shaka. So if you can't be,
I'm sorry, I apologize. My kids on the airline coming back to
if you can't be strong enough to see that Saneda is wrong, it's a lot of wrong now. The situation got bad, but in the beginning, Saneda was wrong. I came in at Shaka for doing basically nothing. just respilling information that's already out there. So he could have, it doesn't, and the thing about it is there are more people disrespecting Sanetta 10 times worse, like whack on it, but he has nothing to
So you
say.
are admitting that Shaka is disrespecting Sanetta? Are you admitting
Yes,
that?
but but it's Sanetta who started it. You understand?
Well,
yeah, you need to look at he
I'm
has
not
the
it. I
worst
don't think
names
he
to call
I
the
don't think
brother.
he disrespected him. I don't
Well,
think he disrespected him because I
No,
think
I'm just
Shaka
saying
just asked the
lately.
sister a
Listen,
question
man,
and she didn't
lately
answer it.
I didn't hear you because I was on the phone with my kids. But at the
I
same,
was
I
just
didn't ever hear
saying,
what you were saying. What's your name? Young Hero.
young Heru.
I don't have my
But
glasses.
I was just saying that the whole situation got blown because Sanetta didn't want to admit that he was wrong. So you have to be able to talk to Sanetta and pull him up, because
Wrong
it's
about
not, don't just about the way he act towards Shaka because someone came on Shaka's show and exposed the truth. Everybody didn't know about the situation, about Hebrew, about Captain, about this one and that one. You might have, but that doesn't
And
mean everybody know.
Two weeks ago, Sanetta said the opposite.
I'm saying
2 weeks ago, Sanetta said something totally different.
all men that are convicted of rape are not. I mean, why do y'all have these type of minds? You know, I'm
2
not.
weeks ago, Sanetta said something totally different. Shaka, can you ask our sister the same question you asked? She didn't answer it yet.
Go right ahead.
Well, no, I've asked already. She didn't want to answer, and that's fine. You know, I'm not gonna force her.
Ask me again. Humor me.
No, it's okay, sister. I mean, if you want to call Sanetta, if you want to come to the platform, we can have a grown man talk.
The
You know what I'm
question,
saying?
the question,
Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking for
the
everybody,
question
except
was
the
if the question was if those charges were overturned or if they weren't true, if there's any evidence of that, why did Sanetta not say that when he was on this platform just a week ago or so?
Okay.
When he was asked.
Okay. Maybe he didn't want to.
Did he not know?
That part. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And wait a minute. And it was more than one time. You're talking about Mighty Hebrew, though, right? You're talking about that if he did do it, he already did his time. And we all know he was 17 and she was 15. We do know
But
that.
that's not. But none of us have been saying different.
Let me finish this one before I can get with you, J. Harrell. What I'm saying is, most girls that are 15 talk to guys that are 17.
None of us disputed that. We're saying something totally different. I don't think you're hearing our point, sister.
Okay.
You're missing what we've been saying on this channel. You're accusing us of saying things on this channel we have not said.
I'm saying that he too, and I am still saying that there are some so somebody went on there with some little comment about, or she's saying that all men that are convicted of rape didn't do it. That's so stupid. I said there are black men that have went to jail for rape and statutory rape and didn't do it.
Right. And so are all of them innocent?
What?
Are all of those black men innocent?
Listen again. I said there are some black men. You hear the word some.
Right.
Went to jail for rape or statutory rape and did not do it.
So what is the distinction? What's the distinction between did it and didn't?
Okay. And some.
How do you know they didn't do it? How do you know they didn't do it?
Because the evidence showed that they didn't, and they still went to jail for it. Just like
somebody. Can we see the evidence?
Can we see the evidence?
Shaka, just play the receipts you got of these dudes standing out their own mouth. That's all you gotta do.
What I'm gonna do for you, Shaka, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go find different situations where black men went to jail and was accused of rape and didn't do it and actually served 20 and 30 years for rape.
But you're speaking for another man, so you don't know.
Situations like that don't happen. What I'm saying is, why are you talking like you using different little small things? I'm not gonna say they small, but different things, right? To say this side has this bad channel. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like you ain't got no other content but to go on and talk about HOK.
And the channel is bad. A man said he set up there.
We have those guys who've been convicted for sexual misconduct Garfield Reed spoke about this. Yourself, you spoke about Nazi, and Garfield Reed said that Hebrew camps are sheltering Nazi. So, and it's sensitive because I know he's your friend, but Mighty Hebrew, several people have said that he was convicted for sexual misconduct, that he went to jail for that. So how you gonna?
He did.
Well, oh well, okay, well, so you're confirming, So why
everybody know that he went to jail for that? Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously,
but Hebrews cover up for Hebrews. That's what they do.
All right. So
and they go on everybody's platform, and none of them niggas say a damn thing. But if I talk to Polite on the phone, oh man, how the fuck? So I'm never talking to Polite. Nigga, get the hell out of my chat. I talk to who I want to talk to. Innocent, like you said, is proven guilty, man.
Yeah. He was not convicted yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So Garfield Reed didn't lie then.
Garfield Reed didn't lie.
When he talked about
and
Garfield Reed said even twice.
And Garfield Reed said
some people said that the
twice
second time is because he did
some
not.
people said that the second time
he got violated. He got violated.
He got violated. He got violated.
So what does it mean he got violated?
Well, he had a violation. I don't know why, but they came back and locked him up again on a violation charge, something like that. But all them niggas been doing that shit for a long time. Hebrews been out there molesting people and all that shit for a long time, and it's always covered up by other Hebrew Israelites. The only way we'll find out about it if we looking and searching and we see it. Oh shit, this pops up, and we catch it, and then they'll come out and say something about it because we got them.
You're wrong.
Well, then talk about the Hebrews then.
Is Sinetta telling the truth there?
Wrong. You don't know. Everybody on my circuit, they against the Israelites. We hate the Israelites. We can't stand their doctrine.
Shaka, all these niggas sleep with each other's wives, brother. All of them. Our brother, me and Quana ain't beefing, but
wives?
Quana,
You mean wives' daughters?
No, they sleep with each other's wives. Like, say a Hebrew Israelite is married to one of these brothers, and she breaks up with them. Next thing you know, she's with the other Hebrew Israelite. The mighty Hebrew, brother Zabak, and brother Quana had the same wife at one point in time. Now, this is common knowledge, so I'm not banging on my brother Quana. Everybody knows this. See? So that's why when you look at it, you got to be like, come on, man. All they do is bang on each other. I don't care about that shit, because I know you are fucking men who make mistakes. You are just men who make mistakes like everybody else, brother. There's nothing special about you because you following some spook-ass God, some God who we know is narcissistic, who's demonic, who's a goddamn liar, who's bipolar. The God of the Bible is a bipolar motherfucker. When I
truth, or is he lying?
When I came out, brother,
I can't answer because Shaka.
When I came out, brother Shaka.
Shaka, can you stop putting me on mute, please?
When I came out, brother Shaka, and I tried to expose Polite, and I accused Polite of being Dr. York, I exposed him. Guess what happened, Shaka? I came out first, and damn near everybody on YouTube came down on me, banged on me, said I was just jealous. You can go and check the video. That nigga saw another jealous of Polite. He just mad because Polite is in Hollywood. Polite driving the cars. I said, oh, okay. All right, motherfuckers. That's cool. I'm jealous. All right, whatever. And so now he's in a situation again, and they expect me to jump out the window for their bitch ass again, Shaka. Hell no. I'll wait until we see the charges.
Listen, you think I'm
okay, can I talk now? Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So Sekou didn't say anything pseudo at all. And the people have stated that for years. Now, Sanetta, if you don't mind, you said that other people teach that you can have sex with a 9-year-old girl. Like, do you mind telling which other Hebrews or organization teach that? Because you see, I'm not from New York, so to me it's news. And I'd like to know when I go to New York with my daughter, where I should avoid going. So if you don't mind, Sanetta, which other Hebrews or organization teach that thing that GMS teach?
Well, there's a lot of Hebrew Israelite groups out there that teach that. I'm not calling out no names or nothing like that. All I'm gonna tell you is that a lot of them teach that, brother. A lot of Hebrew Israelites teach that.
I appreciate that.
And as for my brother Unc, You know, I love you, man, but I'm gonna still keep and tell the truth. To me, when we say things like go back to Africa and teach that unk, I'm simply saying, look at what we do. We over here in America.
So it's been 2 hours and 54 minutes. I played those excerpts from on purpose because he was Sarnetta himself, Frankie himself. So, it's going to be difficult for him to say that it is slander or gossiping. Please don't be offended. All the brothers and sisters who are on the panel, I'm the one who put you out of the panel. I did it to everybody. So don't nobody think he did it to me, but he left other people. As you can see, I'm the only one right now on the panel. So thank you very much for being there. All of those who came, whether you agree or disagree with me. Now, the sister Freedom said that she will speak with Mighty Hebrew so we can see this documentation about exoneration, because Storm is insisting. First, she said that he didn't ever show anything like that, and there she's asking, did the Mighty Hebrew say or prove that the court exonerated him of all charges? And I'm sorry. V. Bennett also was insisting on why is it that about 2 weeks ago, Sanetta confirmed that the Mighty Hebrew went to jail for that, but he failed to mention, oh, by the way, he was exonerated. Oh, by the way, he was falsely accused. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as some people try to accuse me and others of doing slander, it's all good to say the guy was falsely accused. But how do you know? Do you have the paperwork? We've shown the paperwork. And I can show it one more time before I conclude. Here, we have rape, guilty, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, guilty, aggravated indecent assault, guilty, statutory rape, guilty, indecent assault, guilty, corrupting minor, guilty. We're way past two people having a relationship when one guy is 17 and the girl is 15 years old. We have rape. All right. So tomorrow we're going to have an exclusive. Tomorrow, apparently, it's not going to be difficult. The Mighty Hebrew has about 24 hours because people speak for him. Fine. He has representative. Cool. He's going to show us some. Hopefully, he might say he's busy or the dog ate the manuscripts. You know how the excuse goes. It was too hot, so the house caught on fire. I lost it, But he might have that documentation that shows that he was exonerated. Funny Sa failed to mention it, To me, it sounds like something made up, but I might be wrong, and we might learn something. And then we will talk about ISUPK, who officially defends somebody who was convicted of child molestation. So we learn every day. Tomorrow, I should be in a different hotel. Hopefully, the internet connection will be better. All right. We're going to get some clarity. But please, brothers and sisters, now that you have seen that Sanetta spoke on that and he confirmed that, don't hate me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Sanetta himself said it, not only for Mighty Hebrew, but also for Nasi Yashuvel. So we're going to get some clarity on that. Definitely. So thank you very much. It's been 2 hours and 58 minutes. Please, brothers and sisters, do not be angry at me for ending the live stream this way. It is actually, you see the time? Now it says local and domicile, which means home. Because I'm abroad, it's showing me the time where I normally reside, which is France, and it's showing me the time where I am currently, which is Portugal. Today, I went to a brand new museum. I mean, when I say brand new museum, I went to a museum for the first time that I'd never visited before, and I filmed many artifacts. I am a little bit tired. It takes time, it takes money, effort. Please understand that. Please take that into consideration. I went live streaming. It was lovely. It's 2 hours and 59 minutes. It's going to be 3 hours by the time I finish. Please don't be angry at me. I didn't mean any disrespect by ending the live stream. more or less abruptly. It's important because nowadays people will be angry at you forever over you refuting them or disagreeing with them. And I've seen that, I've experienced that. So I was told, I was asked if I am from America. Apparently, I need to be from America to understand. Well, I'm lucky because we have some brothers and sisters from America, so it's going to help me to get some clarity about how the law works in America. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward for tomorrow. I think it will be the same time that I normally do, even though it wasn't the case this evening, but it will be, I presume, 4 p.m. EST, New York time. All right. So stay safe, stay healthy. And it's 10 new messages. Hold on. Okay, let me just go through the comments real briefly before I finish. So Akili Omari wrote, this is going to be the comments. What's going on? Okay, so it wasn't internet connection. So I was trying to see the comments. So Akidi wrote, Sanetta's channel has sadly turned into garbage. Sister Freedom will go on side channel. I haven't watched his channel for a little while now. I don't know if he has the title like, come here and talk about it, whatever. I mean, he can come here. He came here before. Reggie came here before. Onk came here before. Garfield came here before. And so many other people came here before. So daughter of the sea is writing, good night, y'all. Nutri for Wellness is asking, what was he found not guilty of? We're going to find out tomorrow. V. Bennett wrote, these matters are too serious to just say one thing one day and then say another the next. Andrea Brunet wrote, Sister Freedom, just like there are men who are falsely accused, there are girls and women who are falsely accused of lying when they weren't. Storm wrote, he proved no such exoneration, and if he can, I will apologize to him on your panel, Law. And she wrote, peace. Nutri for Oneness says that he'll be, is it a he or she? Nutri for Oneness will be in Portugal in June, in Algarve. Bennett wrote, why would Sanetta keep knowledge of exoneration and say all the other horrible things? I don't know what it could be. I just don't know. I don't know. I might watch Scarface before I get to sleep and close my eyes until tomorrow. Well, it's already tomorrow, but I might just watch Scarface. I don't know. That movie might inspire me. I don't know what it could be. Daughter of the Sea wrote, my father have family in Portugal and we there August for a month. My son plays football. Bennett wrote, Sanetta said people came down on him when he spoke up, and now people are coming down on you. Storm is insisting there is no exoneration. It's a myth, just like the Hebrew God. Bennett wrote, notice Shaka didn't ask for any cash out. I didn't. Richard Folanis wrote, I honestly haven't seen the girl age on any document yet. We will get some clarity tomorrow, brothers and sisters, because apparently we are so in the wrong. So we're going to get corrected. Peanut King, Ching Ching, my brother, they're trying fake scare somebody with them weak tactics. Oh, to me, it is weak, but hey, they have the right to try, don't they? Because I'm the bad guy. I'm the Frenchie. I'm the brother in France who, like Reggie says, to keep Black America out of his mouth. Reggie came on my platform several times. One time, he even asked me to present. He made a whole presentation upon his request. And other times he came on just like the regular colors and spoke for so long. He didn't tell me then, keep Black America out your mouth. But even if people say that now, 10 years ago, when I stood up against the anti-Black and anti-African teachings, such as Africans are living a jungle life, Africans are not civilized, Black means death, the Amen Ra squad went against me. So I'm used to it. I don't like it, but I'm used to it. Years later, Uncle apologized. That's one of the reasons why, even though Uncle has changed his stance and sounds more like FBA, I still have love for him. Notice I use the term monkey when I refer to Sanetta. I use the term monkey when I refer to Reggie, but I didn't use the term monkey when I referred to Unc. And if I did, then it might have slipped up, but I didn't use it as much as I did for the previous two. I didn't like using that term, to be honest, but I wanted to cause a reaction, and it did work. It was successful because when we're talking about dealing with child molesters, they're not going to mind if I use those terms. I've shown you the message that Sanetta sent to me. He labeled me a B-A-N word. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, right? So, yeah, my dude, French toasted just mad. Hey, Shaka, Reggie, not even Black America. That's not me. I'm just reading the comments. Oh, you want to mess with me, Lord? So, this is we're gonna find out tomorrow, all right? You know. Now, here in the Truth for Wellness always has something to say about me. I am against xenophobia rhetoric, but there are definitely some times you say things that shows you are not familiar with the way things are in USA. I beg to differ, man. Like when Frankie said, "Don't talk about MLK," that was so ridiculous, man. That was so ridiculous, man. So you brought Tazariak's explanation as to why MLK is a B? That same sister was on the platform, went against that. So Neutral for Wellness is going to be time for you to get on the platform because the Twitter fingering is easy, you know? Like being surprised at polite bail. You really want to go there? You really want to go there? So, me being in Europe, I'm supposed to know about some paperwork that you don't even have yourself. Do you have the paperwork, Neutral for Wellness? Can you show me? Can you show me, please? I'm going to wait now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Show me the paperwork on polite. Go ahead. Show me the bill. Show me the terms. Because we heard about a mistake. No, you were surprised polite was that. I said the dude has been out for over a year. So can you show me the paperwork on polite about the mistake? Didn't people say that there was a mistake? Didn't people say that? So can you show me the paperwork? Can you explain what the mistake is? I mean, we have guys on tape saying, well, yeah, my brother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was found guilty of child molestation, but I still support him. But you want to be, oh, Shaka, you know what I'm saying? You know, polite, you were surprised. Show me the paperwork. Go ahead. I'm supposed to know everything. So can you show me the paperwork on polite? Yes or no? So you can't just say no, and then we keep it moving, and I can end the live stream. Show you what? I'm just saying people get bail for rape. So there was no mistake anymore now, right? That's what you're saying. There was no mistake, right? It's just a normal bail. In America, if somebody is accused of sexually abusing a child, the guy is an adult, the child is 14 or 15, and they find 6 semen stains. The judge said, well, okay, 6 semen stains, okay. If it was 10 semen stains, I would have locked you in. But since it's only 6 semen stains, I'm just going to let you go out on bail. And bail said that $50,000. That's how it goes down in America? That's what you're telling me for real? There was no mistakes anymore?
It's okay. They're going to say, I'm picking on you. We have the right to disagree. I know very well what's going on in America. I don't know everything, but I mean, thorough and solid. Please, brothers and sisters, don't repeat the weak talking points of these people. They're looking for escape route. Haven't you seen how they send in sisters and some brothers in the comments, in the chat? Haven't you noticed that they won't speak for themselves? Those are weak talking points. We're dealing with mentally unstable people who try to normalize rape, pedophilia, and OnlyFans. None on my watch. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to, by the nature of the world, we'll definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I stay fast. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Do I to do anything? Hotel.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at for my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/maatforever.